Yeah, same.
Stank, you with us?
Well, hi there. I'm your Huckleberry.
I like that.
Nice.
Right on time, everyone. Very nice. Okay, I'll do just a quick rundown of Foundry. Harvard, from my understanding, already knows everything about Foundry, so it's nothing new for him.
I will need a very good refresher. I played Foundry like a couple of sessions like 2 years ago.
And that was probably D&D, wasn't it?
It was Pathfinder.
Basically the same. It was a framework that actually was developed and not APOC
Yeah.
world that I had to literally scour for code and shit. But basically, from what the player needs to know are the following. A, your character sheet. If you look at the top right of where the chat is, you'll see like a person thingy. That's the actors. If you press the PC's folder, you will see a single character sheet. Yours. If you click on it, it will open your character sheet. We will still use the PDFs because that like has a lot more info, and to transfer all that info into the digital character sheet, it requires way too much work. It's not worth it. But we can use the character sheet from here to automate a lot of roles and such. You can just click any stat, it will roll it, etc. On top of that, you will notice that at the top of your character sheet, top right, you will see a pop-up button. You can pop out any window you want. If you want to place it on a screen, etc. That's the character bit. Next, if we move on after actors, two to the right, you'll see a book. That's a journal. I've made a journal for everyone. Every player gets their own journal that only they have access to. And I made one shared journal that everyone has access to. To write in your journal, you can name it whatever you want, etc. To write in it, you click on it, and then bottom left of the journal, you'll see add page. You click it, you insert the name of the page, whether you want it to like hold, create the page, write in it, whatever you want. You don't have to use that system, but if you want, it's there.
I'm going to encourage people to use that.
And last but not least, the playlists. If you go to the music note, you will see a thing that says global volume controls. Use that. Once you open it, you'll see 3 bars: playlist, ambient, and interface. The only thing that should make sounds in this game is playlists. So just set that bar to the volume that you want it to be, more or less, and that will work on all of the music only for you.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. That's all the rundown you actually need. If you want to do a 2d6, people already noticed on your left side of the screen, you have like an easy roller thing. Or if you want, you can also just type /r 2d6.
Oh.
That's not a big deal. That's it.
Okay. Is everyone ready to go?
I'm
Yeah.
just writing down like custom like class moves onto my character sheet. So
Yeah.
I'll just be doing that in the
If you
background.
want,
Yeah.
hell, if you want to do it, be my guest. I'll then save it as its own object and then be easily transportable for the future.
Snow, I noticed you've actually uploaded your character.
Well, I've been updating it.
Okay. When you're ready, have you filled it in on a PDF?
I'm working on that as well.
Okay, well, yeah, when you're ready, send me that over. So I can have a look. Right.
And just as a forward notice, there's a bunch of things that are planned to be added after today's tech session. Before this session, there's things that will be added in the future. So if there's any like problems, just tell me afterwards, and we can work on it.
Okay. Nobody remembers how or why. Maybe nobody ever knew. The oldest living survivors have childhood memories of it. Cities burning, society in chaos, then collapse. Families set to panicked flight. The weird nights when the smouldering sky made midnight into a blood-coloured half-day. Now the world is not what it once was. Look around you. Evidently, certainly not what it was. But also, close your eyes. Open your brain. Something is wrong. At the limits of perception, something howling, ever-present, full of hate and terror. From this, the world's psychic maelstrom, none of us have shelter. So, welcome to Apocalypse World, everyone. We've got a lot to get through before we actually begin playing. The obvious stuff is, hey, this is a game set in a post-apocalypse, where everything is broken down. Generally speaking, it's been around 50 years or so since the end of the world. Even if you were around for the end of the world, you don't remember it that clearly, or you don't know what the true cause of the apocalypse was. You know the outcome. You know the effects. You can see, hear, and feel it everywhere around you. But the true cause may be something that we find out later in play. So this is totally different to probably most TTRPGs you played, unless you played PBTA before, which I think only Anna has.
Yeah, I run a game that's like a monster hunting game that's based
Yeah.
off of it.
Yeah, Monster of the Week. So the thing is here is there is no there's prep on my part, but there's no planning. So I don't know what kind of apocalypse we're in. I don't know the names or the locations of the settlements. I don't know which NPCs exist in this world until we start playing. I have to improv all that. So bear with me is the rule here. Sometimes I might pause for a moment because I have to think what comes next. But it's also a lot more collaborative. I'm going to ask you guys a lot of the time to fill in details to decide how things are going to go, or I might ask you, just basic questions about how you live in the apocalypse. But if I ask you a specific question, and you don't have an answer, we can always farm it to the group. And as I say, collaborative is the word there.
Cool.
So yeah. So what we do know, obviously, we know your characters, and that's important because your characters are the protagonists of this story we're going to tell. They are not just protagonists, in a sense, obviously, they're important people. They're also powerful people. They're a bit harder to kill than normal people in the world. You're a bit hardier than any NPC. Oh god, I lost my train of thought. Already off to a good start. You also all somewhat know each other at the beginning of this. So we'll do that when we get to history in a minute, in a few minutes. But you're not necessarily enemies. Well, you can't be enemies at the start, but you are not necessarily friends. You're not an adventuring party in the classic sense. You're just people whose orbits interact. That may mean that we enter into a situation where we're traveling around solving problems, mystery ganging it, but we could also end in a situation where people all want to kill each other. It's never specifically happened in my games, apart from my first ever game where someone played a hard holder and decided to be a complete tyrant, and everybody else decided to kill him.
Yeah, I'm not big on
Yeah.
personal conflict between party members.
Yeah, Generally speaking, most people aren't. And like that led to the player who's the hard holder going, "Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore." I was like, "Yeah, fair. We'll switch your character." So, two things to go through. Lines and veils. This is probably kind of important. Obviously, this is a world of scarcity and depravity and who knows what. I assume we are all okay with certain things, but I don't want to, assume too much. At the end of the day, it's a role-play game. We should be having fun. So, we're all adults. Sex probably happens in this world, but we're not going to role-play it. I assume nobody wants to, role-play a scene in which children are harmed.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or,
I mean, I assumed that was a no, but
Yeah.
also I've had that before where a DM did not assume that was a no. So
that's what lines and veils are for. But I generally speaking, I don't want to do that shit myself. So same goes for things like rape and anything like that. But I'm assuming we're all okay with body horror to a certain extent. Monstrous mutants and eldritch entities and things like that. But this is the moment where you say no, or just declare that there's something you don't want to see in the game.
hold on, wait 1 second. I don't really mind it if it like exists. I just don't really want it to be like super detailed. Is that I have a thing about parasites.
Okay.
Like they just super bother me. I don't mind that they like exist, but like don't like explain them.
Yeah,
I
you
guess
don't
in
want
super
Deep
detail.
descriptions of what's going
Yeah.
on.
And if it's like
Yeah.
like the flood from like Halo, that's fine. Like that kind, you know what I'm talking about of parasite.
You don't want
Not
some-
like I don't
Yeah.
want to see you talk about like pinworms and shit and like maggots. Like
Okay.
in a living thing, that freaks me out.
That's fair. Okay, good.
For me, like body horror and stuff is fine. When it gets into like the ultra grotesque shit like The Thing, that's when I start to get really squeamish.
Okay.
I'm also, yeah, I was gonna say also not super into like extremely depictive body horror. I'm fine with it. I mean, my favorite movie is basically just The Thing, but with robots. Virus, 1997 or something. But like, I don't want to hear like, overly descriptive body horror, I guess.
That's fair. Like I say, this is the moment to tell me these things. So. And look, here's the thing. Like, if I start to describe something and it sounds horrible, please tell me. Like I can always roll things back.
Basic move.
We're not locked in.
Yeah, my guess is that it's okay to go, there is this body horror going on, but we don't necessarily need to have the entire scene where it happens described in full.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to like
Fine.
paint it, I guess.
Broad strokes can get the idea across.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a probably.
Yeah.
Besides, that kind of horror works better when it's more vague. IMO.
Yeah, when it's left to the imagination and
Yeah.
your mind has to fill in the blanks.
That's fine. Absolutely fine. I'm sorry, Snow just sent me there. Cheat, thank you, Snow. I'm gonna show
What
a
am I
quick look.
looking for? What am I looking for? God, I'm tired.
Okay.
Keeping an eye
Right.
out.
Okay.
there.
Yes. On your character sheets, you will have noticed something called special moves. These used to be called sex moves. In second edition, they're just called special moves.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even have that. I just have peripheral moves. I don't even.
I'm
Yes.
guessing. I'm
It says
guessing you,
it's-
you mean
it's-
the
it's
PDF
where-
one.
Yeah, on PDF, where it
Oh,
says
on the
it
PDF.
says, it's
Okay,
like
yeah.
Savvy Head Special, and it says if you and another character have sex,
Yeah.
So I generally interpret this. It can be sex, but it can also be an intimate moment between two people. However we decide to interpret that.
Listen, my character isn't having sex with anyone.
That's fine. Again, honestly, like I said, this is the third time I've DM'd Apocalypse World. I don't think I've ever once had a player, because this, by the way, the specials only trigger when you have an intimate moment with another player character, not with an NPC.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
NPCs, and I
Makes
was
it a lot
gonna be
more
like, this is gonna be
collective.
crazy.
I've never had PCs have sex
No,
with
in
each
the
other.
actual PDF book, not on the fillable sheet, but in the book, it literally says, this doesn't apply to NPCs. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah, it only applies to PCs, and I've never had PCs want to have sex with each other.
Yeah.
Which again, you know, I guess there are groups where that's fine, but yeah, I've never had it happen.
Yeah, it's fine for certain groups. It's just, you know, not necessarily every group.
No, exactly. Some people think it's really weird. There is like a whole modded version of Apocalypse World, which Brendan D. Baker, who made Apocalypse World, made, which takes them out. So, yeah, we're playing with this version. Okay. Finish my coffee. Okay. Yes. So as I said before, because this is really improvised, I encourage you to take notes, both for your own purposes and for mine, so I can, you know, I don't miss things. And to draw maps or whatever you want to sort of illustrate, you know, where we are and what's happening. Generally speaking, this game doesn't use battle maps or anything like that. There's no tactical combat. Everything is narrative. So, yeah. So, let me go over. Does everyone see the scene change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me, by the way?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm just going to go over the basic moves, because these are the ones that will be triggering most. So, in Apocalypse World, as we play, we'll narrate what we're doing. The rule of thumb in Apocalypse World is if you say you do something, you do it. And then if that thing that you're doing hits one of these things or triggers one of them, either the basic moves or one of the extended moves, then we read the move and we roll. And generally, when you're rolling, you're always rolling the same dice. It's 2d6 plus or minus the stat which you have. So all stats can go from either -3 to +3. If, say, for instance, you're rolling on cool, you'd be rolling cool, and then whatever your stat is, if it was +2, it's roll 2d6 +2, or roll 2d6 -1. So, when you do something under fire, or dig in to endure fire, you roll cool. On a 10+, you do it. On a 7 to 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. And on a miss, be prepared for the worst. So basically, on a miss, it's almost always be prepared for the worst, and that basically is my, you know, it passes the buck to me to make something horrible happen to your character. When you go aggro on someone, make it clear what you want them to do and what you'll do to them. Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna roll back. So, when you do something under fire, so this move is specifically, it means anything you're doing under pressure. So the idea behind it is it's you're keeping your head, you know, you're keeping your cool basically. So it's specifically not technically a battle move. It's a move to, you know, if you were trying to escape a battle, that's what you'd roll. If you were trying to, you know, disarm a bomb, you'd roll, do something under fire. Go aggro is the default, generally, attack move. There are battle moves that expand a little bit, but this is the default one that we'll be using most of the time. So when you go aggro on someone, you make it clear what you want them to do and what you'll do to them. You roll plus hard, On a 10 plus, they have to choose to either force your hand and suck it up, or cave and do what you want. And then on 7 to 9, they can choose one of the above or one of the following, which is to get the hell out of your way, barricade themselves securely in, give you something they think they want, or tell you what you want to hear, back off calmly, hands where you can see. And then on a miss, be prepared. So, again, it's important to note, like, make it clear what you want them to do and what you'll do to them. So I will always ask you, like, what you're trying to get somebody to do. Even if what you want them to do is to, you know, go down. And become a bloody stain on the floor. Seduce or manipulate. So, when you try to seduce, manipulate, bluff, fast talk, or lie to someone, tell them what you want them to do, give them a reason, and roll plus heart. So this move has two different things for whether you're using this on an NPC or a PC. So for PCs on a 10 plus, they'll go along with you unless or until some fact or action betrays the reason you gave them. On a 7 to 9, they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. And then for PCs, if they go along with you, they mark experience, or if they refuse, erase one of their stat highlights for the remainder of the session. So basically, this is described as the carrot or the stick. So when you try and convince one of your fellow PCs to do something for you, you're like, either you get some extra experience, or you're going to get less experience.
That's whack.
And then what they do is up to them. So reading a person. When you read a person in a charged interaction, roll plus sharp. On a 10 plus, hold 3. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. While you're interacting with them, spend your hold to ask their player questions 1 for 1. So hold basically means you start getting points to spend during an interaction as you feel free to ask one of these questions in this list.
Oh, that's
Is
cool.
your character telling the truth? What's your character really feeling? What does your character intend to do? What does your character wish I'd do? How could I get your character to ? And on a miss, you get to ask one anyway, but be prepared for the worst. And then read a sitch, which is read a charge situation. There's also rolling on sharp. On a hit, you ask the MC questions. So there's a slight difference between reading a person and reading a sitch, which is reading a person, you get hold. You can spend that hold as you like during the conversation. You don't have to spend it all up front. Whereas in reading a sitch, you just ask the questions straight up and I give you the answers. So your questions there are, where's my best escape route, way in or way past? Which enemy is the most vulnerable to me? Which enemy is the biggest threat? What should I be on the lookout for? What's my enemy's true position? Or who's in control here? And finally, well, not quite finally, but open your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom. When you open your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom, roll on weird. On a hit, the MC tells you something new and interesting about the current situation. It might ask you a question or two. Answer them. On a 10 plus, the MC gives you good detail. On a 7 to 9, the MC gives you an impression. If you already know all there is to know, the MC will tell you that. On a miss, be prepared for the worst. And then there's help or interfere with someone. I'm going to talk about the Psychic Maelstrom in a little bit, because I've got a whole section that I need to talk about that. Help or interfere with someone. When you help or interfere with someone who's making a roll, so obviously this only applies to PCs helping. So when you're helping or interfering with your friends, you roll HX. So this is your personal HX score with them, because you'll have different HX scores with everybody in the party. So on a 10 plus, they either take +2 or -2 to their next roll. And then on a 7 to 9, they take +1 help or -1 to their roll. So those are the basic moves. Are there any questions?
No, I mean, I feel like I'm following.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
There are keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Do we know?
That is a move. It's an extended move. It's you can use it. What I would suggest is so in the where is it, in the PDF section there should be something called basic moves. PDF. It's like the second one down. I would have that open because that's got all the moves that will be relevant to you guys for the moment. Obviously, I've set up things on here, and I'm gonna, as I say, showing you in a moment. I click to like these when we're rolling on the move. But yeah, it helps if you're aware of the moves. If you want to, like, if there's stuff you might want to use, or you think your character would use that kind of move often. So
Okay, cool.
go to. Okay, this. I'm just moving to this page now. I think everyone can see the combat moves. Hello, can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these moves right now. Some that they're more, some of them are more specific to specific things. But Seize by Force is the other combat move that you'll sometimes use instead of going aggro. Seize something by force. You exchange harm. I will explain that in a second. But you first roll hard. On a 10 plus, you choose 3. On a 7 to 9, choose 2. On a miss, choose 1. So, this is where I have to exchange harm. So this is an important note about Apocalypse World. In the world of Apocalypse, combat is deadly. Really deadly. Whenever you take harm, as in whenever you deal harm, somebody else gets to deal harm to you too. So you exchange harm. So you both take damage. The way that you inflict harm equal to the harm rating of your weapon. So if you're minus the armor rating of your enemy's armor, and you suffer harm equal to the harm rating of your enemy's weapon minus the armor rating of your own armor. So if I hit you with a 2 harm shotgun, and you are wearing 1 armor, you will take 1 harm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you see something before us, you exchange harm, but first we roll hard, and then you get to choose. So you could take more harm, you could lessen the harm you do take, and of course you can also take definite and undeniable control of your enemy, or you can impress, dismay, or frighten. So then, when you suffer harm, you then have to use the harm move. So when you suffer harm, roll plus harm suffered. So if you took 2 harm, you roll 2d6 plus 2. On a 10 plus, again, I get to choose. The MC can choose one. Note, this is not your choice. You're out of action, unconscious, trapped, incoherent, or panicked. It's worse than it seemed. It can do you more harm, or you lose your footing, you lose your grip. On whatever you're holding, you lose track of someone or something you're attending to, or you miss noticing that something important. So when you inflict harm on another player's character, which may, as I said, may not come up, this also does give you history with them. You get to know them better, which also applies if you heal another player's character, which will apply to you, Stank, being that you're an angel.
Okay.
So every time you heal one of your player characters,
Well, I don't know if I'd call myself that, but
no, you might, but you're a healer in game, so.
He's a bone doctor. Your bones.
Do you know, I need to turn off this music. What? Yeah, it got weird. Right, where are we up to? Right. So does that make sense with harm and healing? Oh,
Yeah, that
right.
makes
Sorry.
sense.
Yes. So the important thing about harm. So it doesn't have it on these sheets, but you'll notice on the PDF that it's got a weird clock thing for harm.
Mm-hmm.
The reason it's done like that is because the way that injuries work is think of it like an actual.
Be really quick. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Do you want me to pause? I'll pause.
No, you can keep going. I'll catch up.
Okay. So the reason it's done like a clock is think of it like a clock. So when you take your first hit, it goes clockwise. So you take 1 hit to 3, then a second hit to 6, a third hit to 9, and so on until you've filled up the clock, right? So the thing about the way that it works in Pokémon World is up to 6. So if you've taken 2 hits, that damage will heal over time. So in between sessions or in between scenes, I will be like, okay, you've had a little bit of a rest. You heal 1 section of damage. After 6, up till 9, that is something that needs to be treated. And anything past 9 gets worse over time. So again, if there's downtime and you haven't found healing and you're past the 9 mark, you will keep getting worse. That's why it's like that. So that's worth knowing. Obviously, on the character sheets in Foundry, it just has boxes for harm.
It's basically a flat clock there.
Yeah. So just bear that in mind if you're filling it in on that on the character
Yeah,
sheets
on the
there.
Foundry sheet, it goes from left to right. You'll notice that if you click somewhere in the center, everything on the left of the box you clicked will fill in, as in the clock.
Okay, so yeah, are we all good on that?
Yep.
Okay, I'm actually gonna just wait for Anna now because
He
the
just
next.
got back. Sorry.
Oh right, right. The next bit's kind of important. So Maelstrom. Yes, the world has a psychic Maelstrom. We don't know what the fuck that is before we start. The term psychic maelstrom is a game term. It's not necessarily the term that our characters use in fiction. And the psychic maelstrom may be different for each of your characters. Having looked at everyone's character sheet, I have to say you have all taken some form of weird. You are all very connected to the psychic maelstrom, so that's probably going to come up a lot,
Nice.
which is great. But yeah, but just to be clear, you get to define it for your character. So how you want to flavor it for your character is up to you. If you want it to be, psychic, I'm hearing the thoughts of a million dead people from the apocalypse. That's fine. But say for instance, Anna's character, who's a savvy head, an engineer kind of character, she might be communicating with the remnants of a long dead internet or whatever. So it is up to you to define that. And when you start opening your brain, I'm going to be asking you questions about how that looks to your character and how it operates. This also will
The whispers
work.
of Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
fucked. You get like a Bonzi buddy directly installed in your brain.
This is bullshit. I want to ask Jeeves some shit.
It's Ask Jeeves, but Jeeves is all messed up.
He's gone through some shit. He's got like robot PTSD.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I've gone over the major rule shit. So let's get to know everybody's characters. So let's go. Anna, introduce your character to the group.
All right, let me pull out my character. My character is Shelly Gaskethead. She is a sort of a mechanic. She's a savvy head specifically. She currently lives in what she affectionately calls her Doom bus. It's basically just a bus, like a school bus type bus that she's armored up and is also made into her workshop slash house slash only thing that she keeps around pretty much. Uh, she is kind of weird, um, like just in the sense that like she sort of have this obsessive thing where she will find like a new weapon and then she will just immediately just start disassembling it to try to like make it hers, which can be pretty annoying to people. Um, what's it called? Hold on, I have like a description. Hold on.
What kind of weapon do I have?
Okay, here we go. Yeah, she's a woman. She has what's like the best way to describe it? Um, it's just scroungeware plus tech. So I was imagining that as like sort of like there's not like a one like style theme. It's just like comfy pants and like this shirt that's stitched out of a bunch of other shirts and like this shitty jacket that might have been like a high res jacket at one point. And stuff like that.
What's my order here? Merc. Introduce your character.
Okay. My character's name, or at least he's known as Messy Billy. He is a huge man. He's a gun lugger. He also basically wears scrap. His entire armor is made out of cut tin cans that he jerry rigged with the random like leather straps and nails that he found and basically strapped on it. Some of the cans still have like the writing on it of whatever the cans there were, be it soup, beans, or whatever. He is not a bright lad. One might even say pretty dumb. He's also naive, and he has a very broken nose that he got by angering his mama when he was very young. And ever since, he has problems with memory and a very fucked up nose. He has sad puppy eyes, but he also lacks morals because all he was taught to do by his mother was to protect the business. However, mother has gone on the deal, never came back, and ever since he's been traveling looking for her. That's it.
Okay. Stank.
All right. My name is Doc August. I've got a. By the way, I do have to ask you, because I kind of imagine him sticking out a little bit because his clothes are a little nicer. He should probably know how to sew and shit.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. We like stuff like that. I mean, that's just role play. Like if it becomes something that you really want to make as a part of your character, I could come up with custom moves for it later on.
Okay, cool. No, I just wanted to make sure there was like it wasn't impossible for him to have decent looking clothing.
No, absolutely not.
No,
Okay.
just two clowns were introducing before you.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got like he's tallish. He's got a cowboy hat, cowboy boots. He's got suit pants, a vest, a little pocket watch with a chain coming out. He doesn't ever pull the pocket watch out because it doesn't work, but it is there. He's got a gun holster, like the ones that are kind of wrap around the shoulder, and it's like underneath his coat. He's
Like
got
a
a
chest holster?
yeah. He's got a cravat and a duster coat, and he's got this slightly curved mustache with a part in the middle, like it comes up on each side, and there's a little absence of mustache in the center, a tiny little triangular soul patch. If you've ever seen Tombstone and seen Doc Holliday, that is this character. You'd probably notice, like, he'll look at you and he looks well put together, but there's a little bit of it's just a little unsettling, his eyes. Like there's a little bit of madness in them. And his smile is a little bit cocked on one side, like it's just slightly off. But it's just in his face. He tries to keep his appearance as clear as possible. And his name is Doc August, and he is an angel.
Okay. And Hopper.
My character is Grandma Hope. She is a kindly little old woman. She's about 5'5", walks with a hunch and a metal cane. She has her hair tied back into a formal bun. She's wearing a very pretty white sundress that is clearly very old. It has a lot of repair marks, lots of little holes with different colored thread, clearly repaired just with whatever was around. She has a beautiful black paisley scarf tied around her forehead to keep the hair out of her eyes, and she just has a very serene expression. She treats everybody she meets as if they're family, and she travels with her family. And that's Grandma Hope.
Just to be clear, you are a hocus. Which is
Yes.
sort of
I'm sorry. What did you
occultist.
say?
She
Sorry.
traveled with her family. Some of them are blood, some of them not. All of them loved.
Did you say she was a hooker?
No, a hocus.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
hell of
Which
a
is-
cult.
I was like, I didn't realize that was a class.
So they're a cult leader.
Cult leader is.
Well, I
a
mean, yeah.
hard
Their name is Hope.
You might not define yourself as a cult, which is fine. As you say, they're your family, so
Yes, they are my family. And we travel, we sell little trinkets and knickknacks. Hope is around 70 years old, so she remembers some time before the apocalypse, and she knows the value of little trinkets and antiques. And that's how she and her family make their living, selling old trinkets and baubles.
finally snow.
Yes, so my character is Midnight. They're fairly slim, androgynous looking. They've got a very nice coat, um, decently nice clothes. You see a sword on their hip, as well as a guitar slung across their back. They're reasonably proficient musically. Um, Otherwise, not much to say. Fairly nondescript.
Playing a Skinner,
Yes.
which is sort of a little bit of a bard of the wasteland. Probably the best way to describe the Skinner. Okay. Cool. So we'll do history in a sec, but before we start, so we have to decide some things about the world, or more specifically, like this corner of the world that we're going to start in. Like, because as I said before, you all know each other, and like to keep things simple in terms of I don't want you all too spread out when we start. Like, you are all in and around a settlement at the moment when we start the action. So this is where we have to answer some questions about what kind of apocalypse is this? Where are we? What's the name of the settlement, etc. And this is a group decision about the world. So, do we have? I know that we had a little bit of discussion a while back on sort of having some sort of mega city, burnt out mega city that we were all living in.
So I've just been reading a lot of 40k lore, and there are a lot of worlds that just this is just a possible suggestion, but that could be left, and they end up going to shit by themselves. But there's like a greater world, and maybe they've forgotten about it. But that is a possibility.
So, in terms of like general like apocalyptic world settings, I have always been a fan of kind of like wet, like swampy kind of like destruction.
I love that you chose the
Uh,
exact opposite of the picture that I chose for this.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been playing a lot of Darktide, and so I am tired of the desert map. That's all I was guessing.
Makes
They
sense.
really are just like a Warhammer. It's just seeping in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sand just taking over.
It's fine. I have pictures for.
No, but the
anyway,
reason I brought that up is just because it could be that we find remains of like a ship or something, like, you know what I mean, just as a suggestion. Not necessarily we need to do it, but like I think it would be cool to have shit that we like just don't understand.
Yeah.
My suggestion. I also suggested this a while back because I think it's like a rad thing. Personally, not like a I mean, it could be cool also to have like a hive city type mega city, but like a just like a super massive like maybe like none of our characters ever like even like seen the borders of the city. That's just reclaimed by nature. Um,
Yeah.
and the place is so fucking big. There's like different like biomes in it. Like tops of skyscrapers are like snowy and shit, and there's like swamps where like water stations used to be.
You
I,
can
You
I
know,
have no idea what this apocalypse could have done to the environment and
yeah, like,
Yeah.
itself.
and I suggested apocalypse wise like CDDA, where it's just like fucking like everything possibly bad in fiction went bad.
yeah throw everything into the kitchen sink.
Yeah, like robots, fucking aliens, fucking magic suddenly being real or some shit. Maybe not
Yeah.
that one,
I-
but like
Yeah, but I mean, it's like
just
you
balls
mentioned,
to the
absolutely
wall.
be
Like
magic. Yeah.
like humanity got fucked. Humanity got screwed over.
And with it being like a mega city and it having small settlements inside it, like people could use like they could blow up buildings so they could fall and then use that as walls for the settlements, etc.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
Yeah, so they sort of live
Oh,
in the
whack shit,
ruins
exactly.
of this huge city.
I,
Yeah, I mean, love
I
that.
will require one biome in this place to be like dry and dusty, just to live out the wild west. You know, I have
But
to.
that's true. Yeah, your
I
character
like
just
the
sort of
idea
stands
of
out.
like the edges of the city just being this like wasteland, and that's why everyone's still in this city because it's like, yeah, right. I'm gonna go like trek across the like desert wastes, you know?
I mean, that is basically that's basically Mega City One from Judge Dredd, isn't it? Like,
A little bit in that, a little bit.
As the apocalypse was coming, they put some sort of barrier around the city,
Yeah,
and
Oh,
so
okay,
it
I like
didn't get turned into complete desert, and that's why everybody's here.
yeah.
But
But
maybe we
obviously,
need to
No,
go
that could
out
be like
into the desert
bullshit.
because
Maybe that's not even like true anymore. We don't know.
yeah,
We don't know at this point.
we don't know, but that was the story.
The
Yeah.
But that barrier took so much energy, or it got destroyed defending the city.
actually,
Yeah.
I want to add to that. The barrier was against only one of the things they were like thinking that's
Yeah.
coming,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
all of
Be
the
like a
other shit
blindsided
came in.
by- Yeah. Like
Yeah.
basically, like they survived one apocalypse and like, all right, we can still do this, and then like everything else happened. It's like,
Wave
oh.
two.
I
it's
also
over.
love
It's
zombie
all over.
games, so I'm not against zombies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Same.
or just like, or you could just label them as like mutants or whatever, or like aliens or some shit. I don't know.
we can have all three.
Or yeah, we can have all three.
Zombie
I will
mutant
admit,
alien.
while it's dumb, I do think it's dumb, but I also would think it'd be fucking rad of just having like, just have like things that are probably kind of dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yes.
So we're
Maybe
going
not
to
like
do,
a common thing, but just like they're out there. There's stories about them.
we're going for the
We're literally
Whether
just
they're real or not.
throwing the kitchen sink in.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
just-
yeah, a kitchen sink setting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a kitchen sink apocalypse.
Why was humanity destroyed? Well, everything.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
guess
it turns out
reality
there's,
said
like
so.
a plague, a tidal wave, an earthquake,
Yeah.
alien, zombie virus. Take your
An,
pick.
an
I mean,
acid
yeah,
rain,
makes
you
sense.
know,
Yeah.
something from above.
The alien dinosaurs brought a zombie virus that we couldn't fight,
Yeah.
but also
Nah,
just
you know,
global
straight
warming
up,
caused the
honestly,
typhoon.
this is genuinely an idea I just had, which is a little fucked. If you like wanted to go full in on aliens, you could have it to where like the original reason why the aliens invaded, like was to like fight each other, and then they had their own apocalypse on Earth, and now they're just stuck here. So it's like the Covenant or something that like infighted, and now they're all fucked and they're all stuck here. You know?
The
Interesting.
decaying corpses created a new virus that actually wiped out everyone else.
We're going a little
knows?
wild here.
Yeah. I just want to. I just don't. I don't want to be able to just like. Yeah, there's probably just this thing in here. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's like
It's-
Adventure Time, but bad. But everything's bad. It's like Adventure Time, but fucked.
Okay, I mean that's a good start for sure. So So let's say so like the city's probably split off, and obviously because it's a big mega city, so there's obviously going to be lots of different districts. So what kind of district are you guys going to sort of start in? Like, do you have an idea for a name of a settlement? Anything like that?
Uh, it's sort of basic, but we could start off in like a Diamond City type thing of just like a stadium or like a mall.
I
For some
like the
people
idea of the
just
mall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
it's
mall
like
too.
it's like a
Like a
trading hub
themed
or
mall.
something in this area. We'll just come here to trade.
So is it a big trading hub sort of place? Is what you're thinking?
That's my idea, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
And all the car parks and stuff are living quarters.
Yeah. Like car nomads.
So
and
like
shit.
a tent city, like in the car park,
Yeah.
multi-story. Okay, what's a good name for that? What would they call it?
What about something just like Westview, like the sign on the mall survived, and so that's just what people call it.
Yeah.
That was what I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Point
but
Mall.
I was thinking that too.
but partially, like not
Yeah.
not the whole thing.
Yeah, they like fucked up
Exactly.
the spelling and then that just like became the new thing.
Hell, something from
It,
the
like,
start
it,
of the
was
word and
like
the end of the word.
Westview, and then it's
Yeah.
just like S2.
Exactly, shit like
Yeah.
that.
I
Yep.
also this is just stolen whole cloth from another thing, Wasteland 3. But in that there's like a mall settlement that's called the Bazaar, and it's both of the bazaars in that are misspelled like the wrong way. And they
Hey.
will straight up like shoot you if you try to correct them on that because people correct them all the time and they're like, shut the fuck up. Like we know.
How would
We're not gonna change it.
Go get your own
Fuck
bazaar
up.
if you want to name it.
Yeah, like
differently.
go get your own like massive settlement.
God, I can't even think of the name of any mall.
Yeah.
Mine's just
West
like,
Farms.
what do they call
Don't near
malls?
me.
The mall near me is just the Grand Strand Mall. It's
Yeah,
like,
the
it's
mall
all
near
just,
me
like,
is just called like
generic
the
stuff.
Super Mall.
Mine is the West Farms.
Yeah. Call like the Uber All, or like Uber Al. It used to be Super Mall, but now it's just Uber Al.
SV all.
All Alley.
Al.
Upa Al.
Uber Al's fucked.
Can't wait until we find the
Oh,
all art.
Or they just call it Upper Al.
Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
So yeah, Upper Al, Uber Al, or something else.
I'm down with Uperal.
I like Uber all.
Great. Okay. Apparently, I can't spell settlement.
It's dumb enough, but also pronounceable.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. So just a note of like, obviously, you know, like I say, this is a world of scarcity, but for some reason, there's also plenty of gasoline and bullets.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well,
No
there's
one's
plenty of
making it, though.
gasoline because you can't drive from place to place anymore. With all the nature and stuff.
Well, I'm assuming you
No.
can. I'm gonna assume that there are roads and there are still places to drive because otherwise Anna's bus is useless.
Well, I had the idea that people would clear roads like they're
Yeah.
being
I mean, I
actively
feel like-
used, and it just gets harder and harder on different roads.
If
Well,
there's
yeah,
enough
until we
gas, people are
fix
going to
it.
clear roads.
Yeah, I
So,
think
like,
so. Certainly,
The
some
actual
roads would
roads
be
would have formed just from travel paths and like
Yeah.
caravans. And
Yeah,
stuff,
Yeah.
the
along with
dinosaurs.
other actual like.
Yeah, the dinosaurs do that.
Yeah, that
I mean,
dinosaur.
no, like straight up, straight up, like the gas problem. You can like make gasoline, from like sunflower seed, can't
God,
you?
dude.
So maybe just people are doing that now.
At some point, there's gonna be a puddle, and we're gonna see a ripple in that puddle, and the ground is gonna shake, and we're not gonna know what it
Yes.
is.
Why is the
Um,
ground shaking? Thump, thump, thump.
So you also might have noticed that on your sheets it talks about barter. Barter is obviously a sort of abstract mechanical thing of like how much you have to trade. But we can decide basically now, like, is it actually barter? Do you guys just like barter for stuff like you're actually like trading, or do you have some form of currency?
It could be named different things in different places, but
I'm
it's like
trying to think
same
of like.
idea.
Well, the question would be, how do we transport it? Like just like a general monetary like hold of value like currency would be
Oh,
easier to
yeah, yeah.
transport,
What
but
in this version of the apocalypse would become the new bottle caps?
I don't know. I feel
Oh.
like that would be like maybe it's like a bit like a reoccurring joke that people keep trying to do a new bottle caps, and then people are like, "Fuck that! I don't want to do that," and it just goes back to like actual like
scour
material.
balls.
No.
I'm
Can
gonna
I,
go
can I
sell
make a
my
really
bullets
dumb
in money,
suggestion?
asshole.
Can I make a really stupid suggestion?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Currency instead of paper money, it's now trading cards, and each
Oh my
different
God.
game is like
Yes.
a $10 bill. A Pokemon
I
card
mean,
is
I
the
could
$10 bill.
no,
A Magic the Gathering
dude.
card is the $5 bill.
No, no,
Dude,
no, no,
holy
no.
shit! No, that totally works because then you can have it to where like different trading like card games are worth different places at each settlement, where like different like groups
Yes.
of people actually value them
Yes, I
differently.
was gonna say each district uses a different card game as their currency.
As like
That's
as like the
fucking Gang
extension.
Wars over a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Yeah, like,
good
well,
lord.
that's the thing though, because like these guys, they don't give a shit about Yu-Gi-Oh. But these guys, they'll like kill you for Yu-Gi-Oh. They are fanatics for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. Harper, what's the favorite TCG card of your cult? What's the currency?
Ooh, definitely Yu-Gi-Oh cards. No, no,
I'm
you know
sur-
what? Digimon cards.
I was
Ooh.
shocked you did not say
Digimon
like
trading
Tarot
cards.
or like the weird like trading card game that's based off of Tarot.
Look, as
Or
long
like
as one of
Final
the
Fantasy
places,
cards.
yeah,
Oh
Final
my
Fantasy.
god, yeah, those exist.
Yeah, my
There's
cult
also
trades
Star
in
Wars
Digimon
cards. Super old ones. I have a bunch of those.
This is very dumb. I love it.
That's what makes it
I
fun.
believe it. It just could be just anything, just like sufficiently like rare. Like I really like fucking cheese. Give me a rare thing of cheese, and it's
Or
like
just
okay,
straight up playing cards too.
yeah,
Well, I figure there's so many playing cards out there that they're probably like low
Yeah.
value everywhere.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
basically
there's like
the cheapest
specific
shit.
ones. Yeah,
Well, and that way it does become like a true barter. It's like whatever the person you are trying to get, like to barter with you, what they value. So it's like, oh, we have a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the settlement. Now, if you can bring me a baseball card, then we
Yeah.
can talk.
yeah. No,
Like
totally.
the monetary value changes just depending on the person you're talking to.
Yeah, that
Exactly. That's what I was
fucking
This is so
works.
thinking.
goofy.
So it's still like bartering, but it's like some people have like special interests
So
you can cater
goofy.
to based on where they are.
And sometimes it's just like, oh, yeah, I trade Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I only accept Dark Magician girls because those are pretty.
Yeah, just like okay, asshole. Cool.
Sorry, get your Karibos out of here.
If you can find the one surviving Black Lotus.
You get shot over that. There'd be so many like counterfeits at this point of people just
There's-
trying to
there's an
recreate that card.
There's a zone that everyone knows there's one Black Lotus in it, and there's a never-ending war in it. Constantly, people trying to reach it.
Well, and then there's
People
like
keep
bandit
trying to go in, but they
factions.
mysteriously disappear.
Yeah,
Something
something
doesn't
happens
happen to
inside
them.
there.
Nobody knows what's going on in there. It's like a stalker anomaly zone, but just for the
Yeah.
Black Lotus
Well, and
card.
then you have like bandit factions trying to like take over card printing facilities so that they can start
Yeah.
making their own money.
Yep.
Fucking card economics.
I mean, real world card economics are already that stupid. Why not
I
make
mean,
it the
that's
same in
true.
the apocalypse?
Oh wait, this holy shit! I have to link. I'm gonna link a song really quick in general, where I just immediately got recommended this, and it fits very well with what we're talking about. Anyways,
Was Big J here for that old fucking cut discussion?
card discussion.
Oh yeah, since I haven't like said that at the start, you can zoom in and out and move the screen with right mouse button if you still haven't figured that one out.
Okay. I'm gonna BRB really fast. Um. I don't care if you like. I'll catch up. I just gotta be right back.
No worries.
And we're waiting on Big J at the moment.
Okay. That's an 8. With 2 to sharp, that becomes a heal on an 8 plus. That's 8 out of 12. Good lord. That's
Oh.
only 25%.
Hello.
You're live.
Oh,
Hello.
I don't know what happened there. I was speaking, but it wasn't going through.
Oh yeah, we couldn't
Have
hear
you
you.
had us all that time at least?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't know when I dropped, but I was talking, so I don't know whether
We
you guys.
haven't heard you for that entire card discussion, if that gives you any context of
Oh,
when you
God.
disappeared.
God damn it! I don't know what happened there. That was weird. My mic just dropped. I didn't notice because no one said anything.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
was
tried
just talking.
calling out.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, gee. Tech
Oh,
issues.
how
Session
strange.
0.
Yeah, tech issues. I don't know what happened there. I heard all of that. I was like, fantastic. I'm so glad that you decided that TCGs would be our currency. Well, you must have heard me because I was asking questions. So
No, we were just like
No,
spouting,
we were just
spouting
sitting here.
bullshit.
Yeah, we were just
Yeah, we
riffing
were
on
just
it.
shooting
If we
the
happen
shit.
to answer the questions even better.
Did you accidentally mute yourself? I was wondering what happened.
no. I don't think so. I wasn't
Oh, I
muted.
couldn't
It
hear
was.
you at
I
all.
was. Yeah, I was unmuted, but I was speaking. But when I just looked at Discord now, it wasn't like showing me speaking for some reason. That was.
Oh,
So I
weird.
don't know what happened.
Gross.
There was some weird tech issue, which first session is to be expected. Okay. Right. I think we're ready to do history. So, if you look at your character sheets, you will see that you have an HX area that says everyone introduces their characters. Listed. Go around for HX on your turn. Ask some of these questions. You don't have to pick all of the questions that you've got, but you can, if you want, ask all of them. So we'll go around in the same order that we did last time. So we will start with Shelly Gaskethead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do all of mine because I don't actually have that much. Since my character is clearly supposed to be kind of just naturally antisocial.
Yeah, so just ask one, and then we'll go around, and we'll come back
Uh,
around again and do the second one.
So the first one is which one of you is the most strange? I don't really know.
The problem
think-
is the definition of strange here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I would
Yeah.
feel because it's like a kinship, not like a oh you disturb me. So it's like
Yeah.
a kinship. I don't think I feel like my character is kind of like weirded out by cults in like a bad way. They're not like into them. Um, so I feel like honestly the angel they might like kind of be cool with
Okay.
in like that because the angel kind of seems like a strange person. I feel like they
Yeah,
kinda, like,
actually, I imagine, yeah, because he's like his clothing is well put together. He probably sticks out a bit.
yeah. So I feel like they'd be like more like this person's not gonna just like shoot me, but they're also not like boring. I feel like is sort of their like thought process.
So you saying that Stank's character is the most strange to you?
To them in like a good way, I think is what I'm
Okay.
gonna interpret that as.
That's fine. So yeah, so write down. So this is on your sheet. You're writing down.
Yeah.
Dark August HX +1. Or just Dark August +1. You can just write.
I just put Doc +1.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Augie, Doc or Augie.
Nice.
Okay. Messy Billy.
I'll ask only 2 questions out of the 3 because one of the questions I feel if that actually happened, he will probably just not be in the group. You just say fuck that. I'm out of here.
That's fine. Yeah.
So we're doing one at a time, right?
Yep.
So I'll ask, which one of you has fought shoulder to shoulder with me? That is also a good question. I'm not sure who's actually who would be the character that actually goes into a fight without being a little,
See my character actually doing that. They're much more like a Mad Max kind of mechanic, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Where they would, if they had spray paint and they thought they were gonna die, would spray paint their mouth and be like, "Fuck it, all right, now's the time." They're that kind of person. So I
Alright.
could see that.
We also have a matching theme of scrappiness.
Yeah. So maybe
Although
they're like,
mine might be a bit more drastic. I
yeah,
have no skill as opposed to you.
yeah. My
Alright,
character isn't very good at combat, but maybe they would try to help.
then yeah, I'll write you down.
Yeah. So you actually get +2 for that question. Okay. Augie.
I don't. Are we? We're just making up these questions, or were they?
No. So if you go to the character sheets,
PDF.
the PDF. if you go to
So
the
it's
sec-
under Angel, the HX section.
Yeah, so if you scroll up to the second page at the very bottom, it should say HX, and that
Yeah.
should
Okay.
explain that there's 3. You have 3 questions. You can ask one of those questions now.
Okay, cool. I'll ask one now. Which one of you has put a hand in when it mattered and helped me save a life?
I'll do that.
Okay.
Grandma Hope will have helped you.
So that +2 you get.
Yeah.
And then we'll go to Hope.
All right. I'm gonna ask both of my questions mostly because I love them.
Okay.
My first question is, which of you are my followers? Are any of you a follower of mine?
I think Billy will say yes because he lacks. After his mother disappeared, he lacked
The
a
maternal figure.
exactly, and you manipulate like you saw right through him, and that's an easy target for a cult. So I'll say
Especially
that.
for somebody looking for a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a match made in heaven. or hell, I guess, because we're still on this planet. But, you know, it's a match.
All right, and then my second question, and the one I love the most. One of you, I've seen your soul. Which one of you?
What does this mean? What do you mean by this?
I mean, you can interpret it how you wish.
You know
I
what?
mean,
I
it
think
could
you-
just be. It could just mean that Harper's sees through you, like Hope's seen.
I think you've probably seen through my soul when you helped me save a life.
Yeah,
Okay.
like that. You get +3 with Argy then.
I didn't realize we were asking, but I thought we were just doing one question at a time.
We can go around again. And
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
If you want,
I
like,
thought that
this
was
is
what
fine.
we were gonna do. Go
Yeah.
around again.
So Snow. That's
Yes.
Midnight, sorry. What is your question?
My first question is, which one of you is my friend?
I'll be your friend.
What?
His
The way
family
he said
history.
that.
Listen, family or not, she is just a kind old woman.
Yeah, okay. I'll put Grandma Hope down as my friend.
Absolutely. Yeah, I history +2. Okay, let's go. We can go back to Shally. Do you want to ask any of your other questions? You've only got one more, don't you?
I just have my other one.
Yeah.
And the rest of them, which is pretty funny, especially with like, you're my friend, and it's like, if I don't pick that person, like, oh no, I actually think you're an asshole. Uh, which of you is the biggest potential problem? Uh, this is a +2, so I guess this is like a positive to them.
Interesting.
I
If
think it
history
just means
is
that
just,
you
like,
recognize
your-
that they're a problem
yeah.
and you know them.
Yeah.
I
Because
suppose,
history
yeah.
is just your your relationship, good or bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's just like how much you know and think about the other person, essentially.
Oh, okay. Probably, honestly, not to put you on like, what's it called? Like, my brain melted. Probably. Oh fuck, what was her name? Like Hope.
Big
Probably
brain, not a
Hope.
big
She would not
problem
be
here.
cool with. I think that she's not. Maybe she like grew up with like cultist activity where she grew up, but she's
That's
not
fine.
like down to just like hang out.
Trust me, there is like so much weird shit going on, like involving
Yeah,
the
she's
stats and
like,
wants and
nuh
stuff from their followers. I understand how, from an outsider perspective, this would be a problem. Don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Okay.
that.
And then
So-
everyone
so
else, I
Hope-
guess,
So yeah. So sorry. Hope was your potential problem. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I was
And then everyone else is just -1, so I guess I
Yeah.
just don't have any strong opinions about anyone else.
Yeah.
I
I
guess.
don't really care about them.
Yeah. So you just write -1 for everybody else. Okay. Billy, do you want to ask another question?
Yeah. Which one of you is the prettiest or the smartest? I'm going to go with the smartest, and Hope is gonna get that one again because he basically sees her as a role model at this point.
Yeah.
Good
Because
lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't want to mention my character is not actually very smart.
Yeah, but it's
Like stat-wise, he's not very intelligent.
yeah, but it's how Billy sees you as smart. So
Billy himself is not like so he barely cuts his hair. He cuts in the front because that like obfuscates the view, but like he does a very bad cut as long as it does
Well, yeah,
not, you know.
It's your interpretation of
Yeah.
what is smart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
And Billy
Okay.
just doesn't like to think, so you know.
yeah. Okay. Augie, do you want to ask another question?
I do. I think if I'm going to ask another one, it's only fair if I ask the other two, because one is a +3 and the other is a -2. I'm not going to tell you which is which. But one of you has been alongside me, or one of you has been beside me all along and has seen everything I've seen. Which one of you would that be?
I'll take that one.
Okay. Which I'm sorry, which character is that?
Yeah,
Midnight.
Oh, sorry, it's not. I've not got used to all your voices yet. So.
And I didn't save any of my stuff.
Oh yeah, I should do like a goofy fucking voice.
Oh, you're not ready for mine.
No, I'm just gonna do my South Carolina voice. It'll be fine.
And the other question is, which of you do I figure is doomed to self-destruction?
I mean, Billy fits the bill here, kinda hard,
He's
not
like a
gonna lie.
walking man-child, yeah. And I don't mean that in like a negative way. He's just
No,
just
he
literally.
is.
Is
got
is
baby
Billy
brain.
messy?
Yes.
Okay.
He's very
Oh.
messy.
Oh, that's just sad.
All right. And those are all my questions.
Okay. Sorry. Harper's asked, Hope asked a question. So it's just Snow. Do you want to ask your other two? You don't
I'm
have to
gonna ask them, but I don't think I'm gonna have any takers for either one.
All right.
You'd be surprised, you never know.
One of them is which one is my lover, and the other one is which one of you is in love with me.
What is your character?
Skinner.
I could see my character maybe being interested, like at one point. I guess not really anymore though. So never mind.
Actually, get history -1 for someone being in love.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess not. I guess not anymore.
Because it's kind of like, it's not like equal. So like
Yeah.
they're in love with you, but you're not actually in love with them.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
cool.
I didn't really expect any takers on either one of those.
Fair.
Oh, that's
It's
fair.
alright. I mean, you can interpret that love however you wish.
Yeah.
Shelley.
I think I'm not gonna go with just because I don't know how I would interpret that. I just like threw it out there and then I realized like, oh wait, no, she probably doesn't care.
Fair
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if no one answers any of those, that's fine. Just write. It's because so for everyone else, you'll notice it says write HX +1 or -1 as you choose.
Yes, I
So
did
you-
notice that.
Yeah, so you get to decide how you want to put everyone down. Let me know how you've decided on those.
Yeah, meanwhile, I just get +1 history with everybody that didn't answer a question because,
Yeah.
according to the sheet, I'm a good and quick judge of character.
Whereas Billy gets -1 with everybody
Yep.
else he didn't choose.
That sounds about right.
Well, actually, also Shelley also gets -1 for everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my character just straight up does not give a shit according to the character sheet. They got other shit to do.
I put +1 for Shelley and Doc August and -1 for Billy.
So sorry, Shelley +1.
Yeah.
And -1 for the other two. Yeah.
-1 for Billy and +1 for Doc August.
And yeah, I have +3 with Doc, +2 with Billy, and then +1 each with Shelly and Midnight.
Sorry, who was that just talking? Sorry.
Me,
Harper.
Harper.
Oh, so Harper, you've yeah. +3, +2, -1, -1. Yeah.
+1 with each.
And I'm
Oh,
I'm
I'm looking at
really
the
bad
wrong- I'm looking at
bad
the
with
wrong sheet.
names. Anna, what's your character's name again? Sorry.
Yeah.
A Shelly Gasket Head, which is definitely not a name that she made for herself. She promised.
Yeah,
She
definitely not.
promised. She pinky promises.
So
Or I think it's just Shelly.
yeah, okay. I think I've got everybody's down. Wait. Just one. Okay. And the final thing, before we start the session, which I appreciate, it's like almost like we've only got like an hour left now. Or an hour and a half. I suppose an hour and a half. So we're gonna do highlighted stats. So do you want me to? I'll just talk a little bit just to explain improvement. So you will level up over time. So you'll see on the sheet that you've got slots for experience. The way that this works is you're going to highlight stats at the beginning of every session. You get 2 highlights. One that gets chosen by other people, and then one that gets highlighted by me. And basically, whenever you roll on one of your highlighted stats, you mark experience, irregardless of whether you fail or succeed on the roll. Once you've filled in 5 points of experience, then you get to pick one of your improvements from your sheet. And then once you've filled in 5 improvements, so you'll notice that the improvement box is split into 2. So you pick from the top bit. When you've picked 5, you can then pick from the bottom bit if you want. Some of those are like retiring your character or changing your character to a different playbook. So, Shelly, pick a character, another player.
Just any of them? Okay. I guess Doc, because they just look weird compared to everyone else, who I imagine is very Mad Maxy. Well, this guy looks like it's like a fucking cowboy from like a book.
Yeah, I do.
Just-
So Stank, pick one of Shelly's stats to highlight.
Okay.
You can also ask him if you want a particular stat highlighted, by the way.
Yeah, can you give me 2 stats that you would prefer to have highlighted? Because I don't know what your class.
I'm sorry, I totally spaced out. Real quick, what is highlighting for? I'm so sorry.
So
You
basically,
gain experience whenever you roll it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so definitely weird is one of them.
And another.
And then probably either cool or hard. I think that's up to you.
Okay.
Definitely weird is one of them.
Yeah, we'll highlight weird.
and I'm going to highlight your cool, as you asked.
Okay.
Okay, Billy, pick someone to stat for you.
I'll pick just like the sheet says, the one with the highest, which is Hope.
Oh yeah, it does say it is the highest. It does say highest. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Do you have any preferences?
Either cool or hard. That's the main things I think that my class
I'll
does.
pick hard.
Nice.
we highlighting 2 or just 1?
You highlight 2. So I
Oh,
picked
okay.
one, someone else picked one, and I picked one. So you have weird and cool highlighted.
Okay, cool.
I'll pick your cool, Merc.
All right.
Oggy. So you get. So yeah, sorry, I forgot. It's you ask the person with the highest HX. I totally forgot about that. So in your case, that would be Midnight. Picks a stat
It
for
would.
you.
Yeah, midnight. The only stat I don't want is weird.
Well, I will highlight your cool.
All right.
I'll highlight your sharp.
Cool.
Hope.
Doc, you get to pick. I would prefer weird or sharp.
Sharp for sure.
Okay.
I will pick weird.
All right.
I'm just being nice for the first session, by the way. Later on, I won't. I might not highlight the nice stats. Midnight.
Hope gets to pick mine.
Do you have any preferences?
No, I don't.
Then I will go with cool.
Okay.
I will pick your hot.
We're a very calm
Okay.
group, evidently, according to highlighting.
Hmm.
A lot of people picked
We'll
cool.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hot, so
Yeah, sure,
I guess
cool.
my
That's a
temperature's
stat I
just
wanna roll.
Totally cool.
fluctuating.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Sorry that took a while. That's basically everything. We can start the session now, which is a perfect time to have a break.
All right.
To give me a
All
moment
right.
to go
Good
through,
session.
to go over everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I take we'll take about 5 minutes and then we'll get started. All right. So
All
go
right.
to the loo and fresh drinks and all that.
Yep.
All right.
Alrighty.
Alright. Shall we? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Ugh. Looking tired. Exhausted. His eyelids are heavy. Weighted down. uh. Tree is asymmetrical. My character might know yours very well. Yours does not know mine. Snow, are you there?
Yeah.
Remind me again what your character is.
My character is Midnight. They're a Skinner, skinny, androgynous, um, sword at their hip, guitar across their back,
Right. And
with
like
a
what
long
class?
coat. Skinner.
Skinner. Okay.
Ah, so you're the lonesome stranger from New Vegas.
Hello.
Oh,
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
is everyone back?
Think so.
Hi.
Pretty much.
Okay,
I believe so.
cool. So we're gonna start. So just because this is obviously the first session, we're not gonna go wild in this session with shit happening. This is mostly get to know your characters, get to know the world. That's not to say there won't be some classic ultra violence. There probably will be. But you know, bear in mind, as I said before, you know, this is all improv on my part, so I have to figure this out as we go. And yeah,
We all do.
Well, yeah, we all
most
do.
of us are new to the system
Yeah.
in general, so
Yeah, I was gonna say, bold of you to assume one of us is gonna just shoot someone. I've had that happen before.
I am expecting it. This is Apocalypse World. It's gonna happen. Especially given I'm almost certain Billy is gonna shoot at least one person.
I mean, if I have a reason to, you know.
I mean, yeah.
I'll probably give you reasons. Um, so, okay. Oh god, I should have lined up a track. I didn't.
That scared the crap out of me.
Sorry.
Sorry, what happened? I spaced out. My cat is
The
fighting.
sound of the horns.
Oh.
I mean,
Sorry.
the name of the track makes sense. and
Sound.
it did the job.
Okay, so I think we open. The scene fades from black, and we see a blasted hellscape of desert winds blowing and dusty skeletons slowly being covered up and exposed by the sand as the camera zooms sort of low against the ground. We can't really see anything much. This just looks like a barren waste for a moment. And then the camera's going to sort of lift a little bit as we slowly start to see something. There's something big in the distance, and it's as we get closer, we realize it's a dome, a very large dome, silvery, but it's cracked, and it's in part there's just a big hole in it where something's clearly maybe broken through, or it's just collapsed in on itself, and it's just exposed to the rest of the world. As we get closer, we realize there's a city inside here, almost like a city inside a snow globe. And this is the city. As we get closer and pull in closer and closer to the city, we see trees, megafauna, all these sorts of growths covering skyscrapers and bridges, just a whole sort of sea of green and rusting metal. And then there's a sort of scattering of noise. It seems still for a moment, but all of a sudden we think it's a flock of birds, but then we realize it's some kind of pterodactyl swarm just flying off the top of the tallest skyscraper and going off into the distance. We're going into the dome now. We're pulling closer and closer. We're going over streets. They seem empty from this height, but you know, maybe we sort of see a bit of movement. There's things, maybe people, hiding in the ruins of what was clearly once a great civilization, now left to ruin. As we pull closer and closer in, we see that we're zeroing in on a particular area. It's maybe a little bit less overgrown with vegetation. Clearly, this is an area that people live in. Maybe they've cleared it out. And we see in the sort of center of this clearing, there's a big, fairly intact building. We know it was once a mall, but who knows what people think it is now. It's clearly a settlement, a place of civilization in the ruins. And it's here that we come to our wonderful little place of Upperall. As we zoom in on Upperall, we zoom into the car park, which is where we see there are tents and maybe even shipping crates, cardboard box homes, a whole assortment, a medley, a bazaar of people moving in and around, like orphaned children with faces running around, strange people, beggars and merchants, and everything you can imagine, humanity of some description. I'm going to pull in on the first person, the first of our protagonists, which is going to be Messy Billy.
Yes,
So Billy, where do you live?
that's a fantastic question. I would assume that Billy um would live in something that he feels it feels home-like, but it will feel only home-like just for him. For you see, his mother used to run a gas station, which which is why he had to defend it very well for his mother. But now with his mother gone and in general just moving about, he found in this city, in this settlement, um, an abandoned gas station. It has no gas in it. It has not. It's all broken down, but it feels, it looks, and feels close enough to home that he feels comfortable in it, even though it's uncomfortable as hell to sleep anywhere in there, cause like
So is this
literally
like
nowhere.
is this the mall's gas station? Because you know, like malls will sometimes have like a gas station attached. Is
Yeah,
this
like on the side of it.
yeah?
Is it
Okay.
like the refueling station for like delivery trucks down in the parking garage?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Sure.
just like in the dark.
Yeah. There's just that slight lingering smell of gasoline that reminds him of home.
Fucking weird.
Okay. So we see Billy. We see him. What? How have you made your home here?
Probably just just like his armor, he collected a bunch of stuff, layered it one on another, like put up something that looks like a wall. He probably, I mean, he traveled, so he probably found something soft. It could be a something that looks like a mattress, or maybe hell, it may have been some weird animal at one time, or an alien. But he just used it as a mattress without realizing why it is, because hey, it's soft enough. And
Okay.
that's it. That's his like lodging.
Okay, so it's morning, and you've just woken up. What are you doing? What does Billy do? Like, he gets up. How does he live? Where does he have somewhere to go straight
God.
away? Like,
Realizing that
August is gonna schmooze.
like it's
so
a
bad
good
at
place
that.
to sleep, but Billy still needs to eat. So he probably leaves the place
Oh.
he calls home and just goes and finds people, and usually probably just either finds some job or just goes out to hunt things.
so this is a good time for me to do the first thing that I forgot to do before we started, but it's a perfectly good time. So at the beginning of your session, you can spend 1 or 2 barter for your lifestyle.
True.
So, to explain that, spending 1 barter means you have what we would consider a normal lifestyle. You've got enough, you afford a couple of meals, you keep a roof over your head, the basics. Anything above 1 barter is luxury, so you're paying for a better quality of life than most people would normally have. So, would you like to spend 1 or 2 barter, or none at all?
He probably would pull out a few cards,
Yeah.
the the Pokemon cards. They're not really like in mint condition, but some people still enjoy them for what they are. So he uses those as in 1 bar to procure a meal and just keep himself afloat for the rest of the day while he looks for leads of of his mother.
Okay, so just to roll back, what kind of food does he get? Does he go to like a food truck,
No,
Oh.
I mean,
or does he keep food in his home and cooks it himself?
oh no, he goes to a place that prepares meats. He doesn't really care what kind of meat it is,
Yeah.
as most people probably don't. But like he just smells. He smells the meat. He goes there, and just buys and eats it there. He understands that there ain't no way he's keeping it, you know, edible for the rest of the day in that gas place.
Does he get to the same place every time?
Probably because it's probably the closest place to the gas station, and he's not very picky.
Yeah. Okay. Is it? Do you know the name of the person that runs that stall?
Hmm. And also, what kind of meat he would? What? What kind of like animals would be around the settlement, though?
That's a good
Yes.
question. We
I'm
can
tossing it out for the party.
I mean, you know, we've decided that there are dinosaurs in this world, so
I kind of doubt that the settlement hunts dinosaurs for
why
fun.
not though? Like they
don't
don't
know.
have to be like not all dinosaurs are going to be able to kill a human being. I mean, we've got plenty of bullets.
You said there was
Surely
megafauna too,
just be,
right?
like-
There's all sorts of
They
Or
hunt
just like an
giant
elk,
sloths.
but like a little fucked up, like a little
Yeah.
fucked up elk,
Oh yeah, like so
like
just
a mutant elk or something. And it's like, okay,
eat some mutant elk. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like mutant animals. I don't see why not. It's just mutant people.
I'll say that the one that runs the stall calls him announces himself as Anton the Meat Man. Is that is the real name? Who knows?
Jesus.
How did you meet him? Oh god, yeah.
Like, is that, you know, you've woken up. You've gone to go and get some as you put it, basic meat.
Yes.
Which is not basic because it's mutant elk, but to you it's basic.
Meat is meat.
And Anton the Meat Man, you know, I'm imagining like this probably quite bulky man. You know, he looks like he wrestles the mutant elk himself. And he's gonna, he's morning, Billy.
Hey, Anton. The usual, please.
And he literally, I'm imagining that there's no like, nice wrapping bread here. He just chops a hunk of meat off.
Slops it
hands
on.
it to you.
Yeah, slops it on the fucking plate. Whatever he uses as plates.
Plate is luxury.
Yeah,
I think
whatever he
puts it in your
uses
hand.
as plate.
You
Yes,
brought your own plate because you know better.
true. He gives Anton, a Pokemon card. Like, here you go.
Oh, just the Charizard.
I mean,
Fair enough.
I'll bring something more interesting tomorrow. Maybe. You have, something that interests you? Something particular?
Yeah. I mean, the Meat Boys haven't been bringing in anything particularly exciting in the last few weeks. You know how it is. Just the same old elk, and I'd kill for some, prime raptor.
I mean, I'll ask my current mama for maybe some more allowance, but I don't know if I can help with that one.
Fair enough. Have a good day then.
Thank you, I will.
Okay.
As he devours whatever the hell he was given.
Yeah.
Without a second thought.
Okay, so you said you were gonna go. You look for your mom. Like, is that something?
I'm going to I look. My Billy's goal is to actually look for like his real mother because he has no clue what happened to her, where she disappeared. She just went on the deal and never came back. But he also calls Hope his current mama,
Yeah.
and his plan is to go and ask for allowance.
Okay.
Because that's how it used to be.
Okay. So we'll cut away from Billy here as he goes off to meet his current mum. and we will our camera we cut we make a hard cut to a bus that is parked where, Shelley?
I had the idea that um, well, maybe like in the parking lot, there's like a section of like food trucks. They might not be like selling actually food things, but like it's just like a selling area that isn't in like the main area.
Okay.
It's more like lower quality maybe, or just like
So is it
not
like
as like
like a
it's
sort of
like a-
area for people to park? Like, because I assume like maybe there's other people that have vehicles that they travel around in, and maybe
yeah, it's like
like
the
a caravan.
nomad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's like the nomads like trading area. They don't
yeah.
maybe they just don't like going into the building. Maybe that's just like a thing.
Or
And she
maybe
sort of has oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, or maybe the building's all full, and so people who can't afford a spot in the
Oh
building have their own
yeah.
area outside.
Maybe it's like not taxed, and that's like how they're still able to like keep business. Maybe there's like a tax or something on like
Yeah.
the in the building.
Yeah, you
Uh,
have to pay rent in order to keep your spot.
yeah. So it's like cheaper because they don't have to pay rent or tax, but it's like considered lower quality maybe.
Yeah.
Um, and she sort of has, I wouldn't say like a massive edge, but her sort of thing is that she's like, hi, I'm basically a blacksmith. I will just fix like shit if you pay me. And she has like a she has this little table. It's like a fold out table where she just has like just shit that she's made, and she has a radio playing, which might be impressive to some people, but to her it's just like, I fixed this a long time ago, and I just play tapes that I own. Um, that's sort of how she's like attracting business, is that she's just playing music to this thing.
Okay.
Um,
Does she? Are you just sitting outside waiting for business to come to
pretty
you,
much,
or
yeah. I'm just waiting because it's like people need shit fixed, so I don't need to like advertise myself that much.
yeah? Okay. So to go back to the thing, how much barter do you want to spend for your lifestyle?
Um, I don't think she would be buying anything right now. Like, there's
So
probably
so
just like
yeah. So it's think of it. It's just a general sort of
yeah, it's like up cost.
yeah. It's just
Like your
something.
food for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying like just like one.
Yeah.
I have something that's worth 6 barter. I don't know if that's like my total barter. Like, if I should consider that how much money I own is 6.
Yeah. That's your barter is
Okay.
your money. So like.
So I'm gonna retract 1 from that.
So yeah.
then.
So you now have 5. Yeah. So you started with quite a lot. So you're
Yeah.
sitting plush on cash at the moment.
Yeah, she's just sort of like living the like merchant life of like, I'll
Yeah.
just fix something if you pay me.
Does she tinker on her own shit? Like in
Yeah,
your
but usually
downtime?
not when like the store's open, because she's
Okay.
had people try to just like run in, grab shit from her bus, and run away.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like spending bullets because bullets can be expensive. So she's sort of like both the merchant and the guard of her shit. Is sort of what she's doing.
Okay. So someone comes up to you. It's a regular, someone you've dealt with quite a lot, who always seems to need something fixing. Who is it?
Oh, should I say? I thought it was
Yeah,
gonna be a player character for a second.
It can be, if you want to name a player character, you can, but you can name an NPC, or you can ask me to name an NPC. I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care who it is. It could be if someone wanted to jump in right now, I'd be down. But it could just be whoever, like an NPC.
Well, you asked it for a PC. Is there any player characters who might want something fixed by Shelley?
Grandma Hope would.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Recently, her favorite cane was broken in half, and it's a nice sturdy metal cane. And she is looking to have somebody fix it for her.
Okay. So yeah. So you see I mean, describe your character walking up to the stall, I guess, then.
She's hunched, hunched over, pretty pretty frail looking. She's actually kind of being escorted right now by just a nondescript young man who she's kind of clinging to for balance, holding the two halves of this surprisingly hefty cane. In the hands of somebody else, it could very easily be a bludgeon. As she approaches Shelly's truck.
Did you
Okay.
break that cane, Granny?
Shelly
someone's back?
obviously immediately recognizes her because she might genuinely be the oldest person she's ever seen in her life.
Yeah, there
Like,
aren't many other
unironically.
70-year-olds kicking around, I
Yeah,
expect.
it's like she's like older than her dad was before he like croaks from probably being eaten by something. So she just knows what she looks like. And she doesn't super like Hope, but also she's like old, so she needs shit fixed.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask two things. First of all, Hope, what is the name of the nondescript man that's escorting you?
We'll call him Steve.
Steve. Is Steve? Who is Steve?
He is Hope's grandnephew.
Okay.
He is a blood relative.
Yeah.
Does he like carry her bags and shit?
No, generally she's pretty self-sufficient. She wanted an escort down to the market today. Since her cane was broken, she needed the stability.
So I'm going to say to you, Shelley. So someone you're vaguely aware of,
Yeah,
who
she's
maybe
recognizable because she's so old. Is
Yeah.
mainly what I was getting at.
yeah. Would you say there's maybe a little bit of tension here as this person
I see.
approaches?
I wouldn't. I don't. I would assume that Hope would not directly be like "fuck you" to the person who fixes her stuff.
No. But what I'm saying, like, someone you never interacted with before, really?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, she hasn't really interacted with them, and she's sort of weirded out that she doesn't know if she's like a cult leader, but she has like suspicions. It's just more of like a weird vibe to her. I don't think she's
Yeah.
like gonna be like upset. Just like
No.
let's just kind of get this over with.
but what I'm suggesting is that this is a charged situation, and I would
Okay.
like you to roll
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
and roll plus sharp for me.
Okay, yeah. How do I?
So if you go to your
Plus
character,
sharp.
yeah, hell yeah, you got a partial success. So you get to ask me one of those questions on Read a Sitch.
Okay. I guess what should I be on the lookout for? Is probably because she's run into situations where someone like seems cool and they just pull out a gun, like point blank.
Yeah.
So maybe she'd just be like casually like on the lookout potentially for someone like that.
Okay, so Hope, what should Shelley be on the lookout for here? What's the most dangerous thing about you or Steve?
Oh god, I don't know how to answer this. I would say probably Steve's like physicality, like how strong he appears to be.
Okay, so Steve's sort of a bit of a sort of your muscle in the gang, yeah. So, muscle. So yeah, so there you go. So Shelley, you're aware. You sort of, you're aware that Steve looks very intimidating and maybe a problem if things were to go south.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
you are welcome to continue on role playing your conversation, guys.
Okay. So, I guess an important note is that Shelley, um, I forgot to mention this, which is totally my bad at the beginning, at like character description. She has this like a strange body. Like she has sort of just strange proportions. Um, like her arms are a little bit too long. Um, and her legs are also like a little bit too long compared to her torso. So she sort of has her hands like, I guess, fitting with the theme of dinosaurs, just kind of like raptored, like just like holding her hands up to her chest as just casual, because they would probably just like be all over the place. Um, so she's just sort of like fiddling with something in her hands. And she sort of just looks up and she's like, "Oh, it's you two."
Hello, dear. I know that you are, well, you tend to be good at repairing things, is that correct?
Uh, yeah, it's like the one of the things I know. Yes. Hi, hello. Um, is this a contract being made?
Well, and she kind of like picks up and kind of gently sets the very like heavy pieces of her cane on the table in front of you. This is my favorite cane, and unfortunately, as you can see, it's in several pieces. I was hoping to pay you to repair it, if that is something you could do.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And she sort of just reaches for it, um, sort of setting what just looks like it just looks like genuinely just like scrap metal garbage that she was just fucking with.
So
Um,
the minute you touch the cane, you notice like Steve's eyes just narrow slightly, like he's kind of offended by the fact that you would even touch Hope's cane, even though she asked you to do it.
yeah, and she's like inspecting it. Can I get like how is this like a solid piece of like metal, or is this like is this one like is
It's
this used to be like a retractable cane at one point,
so it
or
looks like it was at one point like a hollow retractable cane, and then like basically like rebar or something sturdier was like installed within it to make it a
okay.
lot heavier and sturdier.
And is there any like fine details I should know while like closely inspecting this?
Um, near the like back of the handle, there's like a little chain dangling from it with a couple of just like little baubles.
Okay. Um, she's going to like lightly push stuff on her table, not like knocking anything off, but just to put it like on the table. And then she's gonna like move the table between the two of them. And then she's gonna like put her arms back to her chest and she's gonna ask, "Did you bring material? Like, um, do you have preference? What is your like function for this?" She just sort of asks like disjointedly.
Oh, well, as long as I can use it to support my own weight, that's all I really require.
Okay. Um, this is possibly awkward. You didn't Did you bring something to help repair this?
I did not. I was hoping to pay you to do so for
Well,
the
of
cost of
course.
materials on your
Ah, I
end as
see.
well.
I see. And she sort of inspects it and it's like, "Do you have an aesthetic preference?"
No, no, not really.
I see. I see.
Function over form.
Ah, yes. Soul after my own, I assume. He just sort of mutters, trying to like skip past conversation, and she's going to be thinking, and it's like, what do you have to trade for me? What can you give me?
What I have. Nice. I mean, I just have like a bunch of different little like baubles and stuff that Hope and her family trade, but also it's just currency, more
Yeah.
trading
Well, no,
cards.
I was like, my character was like in asking, like, what can you
Yeah.
give me for this?
Well,
Uh,
what would you require? As she kind of like pulls out a fucking Yu-Gi-Oh deck holder.
uh, I'm sure,
That's
like, I'm sure there's like traders like ogling, like, holy shit. She's gonna be like, I'm
Reaches
not.
behind her back, pulls out a fucking dual disc.
Oh my god.
Like an arm mounted. Like, all right, let's duel.
Is it
No.
only trading cards, or like what about like Warhammer 40k miniatures or Pogs?
Well, that's what I was thinking. Just like
Oh, yeah, I
anything
feel
that
like
people
any
would
like
just collect.
small like
Yeah.
collectible treasure.
Funko Pops. There's some
Yeah.
people who like Funkos
Oh my
out
god,
there.
Funko Pops.
They would survive. They're just pure plastic. They would survive.
True, true.
Those would be like really high end currency
It's like
and
a
worth a
brick of
lot.
plastic.
The cards are easy because you can carry them easily.
It's
and they're not
true.
Oh
heavy.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Funko
They
Pops.
don't take up
Um,
much space.
She's sort of gonna like raise one of her hands. She's like, I'm not interested in cards, but I would be interested in him. And she sort of points towards Steve. And it's like, if you could lend his hands to mine, I could help with this free of charge, I suppose, is sort of what she explains. And she's sort of just asking, like, if you let me, like, borrow this guy for a bit to help me work on something, I will do this for free.
That could very easily be arranged.
Like, okay. I suppose then you can. Are your legs broken? She just asks like bluntly. It's like,
No.
do your legs not work?
No, my legs work perfectly fine. My balance tends to get the better of me.
Ah, I see. I can lend you. And she sort of just looks and he pulls out what clearly, I'm guessing to you, because you're older and you have more, years under your belt. It looks like someone took a broom and then just unscrewed like the sweeping bit, and it's just like just like a wooden pole. And it's like you can use this for now while I work on this, I suppose.
That would be fine.
And she's gonna be like, excellent. I will get this ready for you soon.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So I feel like we end the scene here. We'll sort of cut away from this.
Yeah.
With Steve sort of standing next to you, wondering what the hell he's suddenly been bartered for. And we'll find out in a bit. But we're going to cut away and give someone else some screen time. And we're going to find out all about Midnight.
Okay.
So, Midnight, where do you live?
Midnight is sort of nomadic and moves between different sections of the city, but is currently in this mall area. And so they have their own tent that they set up so that they can, have somewhere to stay wherever they are.
Yeah. So, are you willing to spend a barter then? To
Yes.
your lifestyle, yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
so mark off one barter for me.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you started with. What does it say? You had 2 barters to start with, so you're down to 1 barter.
Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, you've sort of set up your own tent. I assume you have your own tent, or did you rent a tent? I assume there's like loads of empty tents that people sort of rent out.
I have my own tent.
Okay. Yeah. So you just rented the space to
Yeah.
be able to, so you paid the tax to be in the parking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I paid the tax and got myself some food as well.
Yeah. So what are you doing? Like, what's brought you to here to Operaal?
Well, I'm looking for stories to see if I can write them into songs and see what's going on in the town. Sort of share what I've heard from other parts, and learn what's going on here so I can share it in other places.
Okay. So what does that involve for you? Just wandering around, or do you look for something specific?
Wandering around, going to like the pubs of the area.
Can,
Okay.
Can
see
I?
if I can.
I'm so sorry. Can I interject because you and I have experienced like everything in life. So just
Sure, sure.
I imagine that I'm with you.
Yeah.
Not like current like at this exact moment, but like generally speaking, you and I travel around, and it kind
Oh,
of fits
yeah.
perfectly because
No,
a doc, you know, needs
well,
to find new patients.
Well, let's have that. Let's have that then. Let's set that scene that you both arrived recently in town. And you know maybe you've just spent you got here late last night. You put up your tent. You did you both sleep in the same tent or do you have separate tents?
Well, I don't want to interrupt his thing, but
No, no,
I
no,
have
no.
I have
This is
different ideas for mine.
It's good.
no, no. But this is what we're doing. We're building on it. Like as you say, you guys do art together. So like you're together.
Uh,
So like this is a
I
good
would
question
think
to
separate
ask.
tents.
Okay. Yeah.
And would probably be, or I would think would go to some different areas, like the pubs, meeting squares, and things, trying to find patients for Doc to work on, and for the local news, or for me for somewhere to perform, maybe evening entertainment, to get some currency.
Yeah, and Doc is like when he's looking for patients and stuff. Like it might not necessarily be a tent. He's like looking to get a free ride because he's an angel, so he's trying to like parlay his way into that.
Okay. So
It may not work, but
So you sort of you're looking for like what's the word, like not sugar mommy but like
yeah,
you're
yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
looking for,
yeah.
so like
It's good to
like
be friends with an angel.
yeah, but I'm assuming you both sort of work together to sort of find work essentially.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
where do you normally like put your focus? Do you both like are you both like okay let's go to the local bar, or do you go and find the leader of the local settlement, or
I kind of imagine we would split up,
okay.
and do like but I'm not certain on that. I really don't want to interrupt your thing, Snow. But
Well, I was agreeing with splitting up because we can cover twice as much ground, right?
yeah, yeah,
True,
yeah.
and
we
you
both
have different
like what we're-
skills.
Yeah, and we know what each other are looking for.
Okay. Okay, so midnight, you're gonna go. You're looking for like the local drinking hall, basically.
Yeah, to see if I can perform and provide entertainment that evening.
Okay, so I think we're just gonna go straight into. You found the local drinking hall. I mean, there's probably I assume there's maybe a few in. Oh, God, I keep forgetting the name. Opperal.
Yeah.
Uh, what would you go for? Like, would you just wander around until you found one, or would you like ask for directions?
I would ask for directions.
And when you said would you want like the place where a popular or would you be looking for like a bit more upper class? Would you want the the lowest end, the stinking sort of rat hole?
Something in the middle.
Okay.
Not like super upper class, but I don't want the dingiest dive bar that I can find.
Okay, so I think you found a fairly like respectable looking joint, and I think it's inside the mall itself, what used to be the mall, right? And obviously like there's like I think the mall's like on a couple of levels, um, and this is like only on the first floor. Like, and as you sort of come in, and you've sort of been told maybe that like the upper floors are a bit more where the rich in inverted quotes live, right? The leader of the settlement and in his gang, right? And you're probably not welcome there yet. So you've looked around, you've tried to find a place, and you found somewhere, and you see in what was obviously some kind of store, that's now been converted into a makeshift bar. It doesn't look terrible.
My thought was like a lot of malls have like a restaurant on the
Yeah.
outside of them,
Okay, yeah.
like attached to them all, and so they probably use that since it's already outfitted.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's an old Ruby Tuesday or Applebee's.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers what apples or bees are, but that's what the place is called.
yeah.
Okay. It might not be called. They might have kept the name, but or do you want them to have kept the name? Up to you, I guess.
No, they haven't kept the name.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so you wander into this place, and I think it's called Bang Bang.
Okay.
And as you walk in, it's daytime now, so there's not really anyone around. I mean, there's maybe a couple of the the eternal 24/7 drunks. Like maybe one guy passed out on the bar, another guy at the back who looks like he's been drinking all night and hasn't stopped. And there's a barmaid behind the bar cleaning glasses, looking bored as shit. So what do you do?
I'm gonna go up to the barmaid and go, "Hi, I'm wondering if you're looking for some entertainment for tonight."
She sort of rolls her eyes and kind of looks you up and down, I guess. Maybe. What kind of entertainment, babe?
Well, I've got this here guitar and I sing.
Oh,
I've heard that.
that kind of entertainment. I see.
Yes. I mean, we can have other kinds afterwards. I'm just wondering, help bring in some more customers and money for you, and maybe I get some of that.
Okay. I never know, whenever we've had music before, like, just most of the time, like, the musicians kind of get beat up by the regulars because no one really likes the music,
Yeah, I get that. I used to have that issue. I've gotten a lot better since then.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know, convince me.
I will start playing and trying to convince her that my music is good and is worth the time and the risk.
Okay, fantastic. That sounds like you're trying to seduce, manipulate, bluff, fast talk, or lie to someone.
Yes, it does.
So you want her to give you work, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And what's your reason that you're amazing? Or
well, I'm just going to perform and use that as my reason and go, look how good I am.
okay, yeah, exactly, yeah. So roll plus half.
He's got to gamble. He has to.
That's an 11.
What? What happened there?
Or I have no idea what happened.
Why is it saying forward -6?
I have no idea.
Have a look on the sheet. Got no forward. Huh?
Huh?
That's weird. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah, why is it added a -6 to that?
Try re-rolling it?
Yeah, reroll that. I don't know what's happened. That's odd.
Just killed.
That time it didn't have it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Oh, okay. Oh, that's basically the same. You rolled exactly the same. So, so, oh, pardon me, sorry.
But the first time without that -6, it would have been an 11.
No, because you got 2d6 plus 2, so you got.
Yeah, it was a 5 after
Oh,
the -6.
you
was
can
applied.
click
Sorry, right? Yeah,
and
sorry.
see
Yeah.
the dice
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll take it. I'll take it as an 11 then. So, okay, yeah. So she she's just like, wow. So, like, what do you play? Like, I mean, describe like what do you play for her?
I play some acoustic alt rock.
Okay, but like, what instrument though?
Guitar.
Oh, okay. I was like, for some reason, my brain was like, okay, so is that like bass guitar? Is that like? I was like, oh,
No.
duh. It doesn't. Yeah,
No, acoustic guitar.
yeah.
Like, she immediately changes, you know, her whole demeanor's like she perks up and like, you know, she puts down the glass and you know, as you were playing, like, you know, she's just all eyes on you and oh, like even the drunk in the corners like sort of, you know, perked up like from his stupor. And she's like, oh, but hi there. That is impressive. You can call me Kiss Kiss. I own this bar.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Kiss Kiss.
So, what kind of, how much is it going to cost me to have you up on my stage?
Well, like I said, I generally work for a portion of what you bring in. So that way, the better I do, and the more people come to listen, the more I make, and the more you make.
Well, that sounds fine then. Hmm. You just coming in the evening then?
That's the idea. Unless you have another plan for the rest of the day.
Well, I've got to stay on shift until the evening. Usually, I get the other barmaids to, you know, man the bar later. But maybe after you're done.
Sounds like a good plan.
Wonderful. So, I take it what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna do you stick around the bar, or are you gonna go and do something else for the rest of the day? Because it's still the morning, so.
Yeah, I'm going to wander around, try to help out Doc and see if I can find anything for him.
Okay.
I'm always looking for a supplier.
Okay, I was just about to shift to you, Doc, so just give me a sec.
Not right now, but yeah, generally.
Yeah, I would know exactly what Doc's looking for. We've been doing this long enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we'll shift now to Doc. So Doc, mark off some barter for yourself first of all for your
Well,
lifestyle.
hang on.
Yeah.
Because where you would find Doc is in a seedy gambling den, and he's in the middle of a hand, and he's looking at the table, and he's like, "Well, gentlemen, it looks like we're in a bit of a conundrum. You see, I've got all the cards, and you've got none of them." And he's trying to read the situation, to read a charge situation, to see who's bluffing and who's not. And I don't know if, well, he's also bluffing, so I don't know how that works.
Well, okay, so I would argue that like if you're trying to bluff them, then that's seduce or manipulate.
Okay. He's
you
mostly trying to read them, but it could
if
be
you
either.
read, okay, well, yeah, because there's also read a person.
Yeah.
So, but we don't really know who you're with yet. So I'm gonna argue. So you've gone to a gambling den, right?
Yeah.
You've sat down with a bunch of people you presumably do not know.
Yeah.
And you started
Smoky.
gambling. Does Doc? What's your usual like thing that Doc does when he does this? Is he always the swindler type, or are you playing fair?
I don't think he's a cheater.
Yeah.
I think he's just good at reading people.
Okay, so
You know what I mean? Does that
okay,
make
so
sense?
Okay, I'll frame it this way. So we're in a round of cards, right?
Yeah.
There's money on the table, which is also cards. So that's
I'm going to
confusing.
consider one barter of mine is on the table.
Okay, yeah. And you know, because this is going to be exciting. You know, we're in the movie, the TV series. We're opening on the last round of cards, right?
Okay.
So you want everyone to fold.
Sure.
So I would argue that you're trying. This is a bluff, right? You are trying. You
Okay.
want them to.
Yeah.
You want them to all fold. So that's what you're trying to do.
Okay.
So why would they do that? Is my first question.
Why would they do that?
Confidence.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to exude a level of confidence in my cards, in myself, and how would he do that? He kind of like appears above everyone else. He's in this seedy place in this nice clothing.
So you're trying to like blindside them with how flashy you are. Like they all think, you know, that they can, you know, get your cash because you're clearly, you know,
Yeah.
you're clearly like well off, or at least you look well off, even if you're not.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you used to sit around this table, all these, you know, presumably because you said it's seedy, so I'm assuming everyone around here is a little bit dirty compared to
Yeah,
you.
like just imagine, you know, the swinging doors, the two doors in a
Yeah.
western. Yeah. Those are the doors.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so roll on heart for me.
Okay.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
Oof.
Oh dear. Oh dear. So I think your bluff just fails. Nobody is in any way gonna fold this round, and in fact, a really dirty looking guy. God, sorry, I'm trying to open too many things at once. With like he's got like 3 teeth, right, in his mouth. And you haven't even caught his name yet. But everyone else folds. Like they just don't feel like they can bet you. But this guy's been staring you down for half the round of cards. And
You know,
very last,
I could. Wait, no, that's the wrong accent. Well, I do believe I could fix your teeth for you. It certainly would make your face look better.
yeah, so he just kind of looks and goes, yeah. Well, Tramadol don't like people like you coming in here. And then he puts down his cards, and it's a full house. You're fucked. And he's gonna grab all the cards in the middle of the playing cards, the TCG cards, and he takes shit from you. So I'm gonna say that instead of spending 1 for your barter this session, you're gonna spend 2.
Okay. Yeah, I'm out of money.
Wait, how much did you
Speedrun.
start with? I can't
2.
remember.
I start with 2.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, so yeah, you are out of money, and Tramadol is just laughing at you.
Well, I must tell you, I did not expect to lose that hand. You sure played that tight to the vest. But I wasn't joking about the teeth. I could fix that for you.
Well, I don't want my teeth fixed.
Okay, I mean, you know. Wait.
I've got 3 of them. That's enough, isn't it?
I suppose if that's all you need to eat. I could do it, but what about other things? Surely you want to catch someone's attention. And you're not going to do that with just 3 teeth.
He sort of flashes the cash at you. Yeah, I don't need to look pretty, you know. Know what I mean?
Well, that's certainly one way to take care of it, I suppose. And he'll get up from the table, and he'll walk out. And like he's had a smile on this whole time, and the moment the squeaky doors open up, he's suddenly a look of crestfallen. He's like, "Shit, it happened again. I gotta go find that other boy."
Fucking gambling addiction. Hell yeah.
He always keeps me right. You know, people can't keep their eyes off him. I bet he's earned some money. And that will be his thing.
Okay, so yeah, I think we'll end that scene there, and we'll shift back to Granny Hope. So first of all, because we didn't do this before, Granny, how much do you like to spend on your lifestyle? Oh, wait, before we do that,
Yeah, we have to roll for my followers.
you have to roll your
Stuff.
follower's fortune. Yeah, please do that.
Let me see here. It is.
So, it's roll plus fortune, so your fortune is +1 because you took
my
successful
fortune
commerce.
is +2.
Yes, because you get default
I get,
1.
Yeah, I get a default 1 and then 2.
Yeah, so you get 2. So you roll.
Why did that not? Oh, I forgot the slash in front of roll. I'm an idiot.
You can just but either click on your character sheets, or you can click on the little simple dice roller at the bottom of the left bar as well. Just want to roll 2. Okay.
All right, so my followers have surplus,
but they
have
choose
one
one.
want.
So what's your surplus and what's your want?
My surplus is I just automatically get 1 barter, and then I also have plus augury.
Oh yeah, nice.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so I think so Granny, you were last seen obviously with Shelley. I think we'll have Billy find you at this moment because he was looking for you.
While still at Shelley's?
No, because I think she left Shelley's. So like, well, so Granny, where do you keep? I know you travel around, so where are you sort of staying at the moment?
Greenie has kind of gotten herself a little shipping container. It's up on one of the upper floors of the parking garage. It's a shipping container in a back corner that has been pushed up against one of the like open air like barriers around, so the back of the shipping crate is actually essentially like an open window, like against a concrete barrier. And there's just like a cot and like a little chair and stuff in there, and that's just kind of her little space that she is staying in for the moment.
Okay. So yeah, so I think Billy has come at this precise moment.
You can hear from afar. As he approaches towards the container.
Like,
Hello, dear.
Can I come in?
Of course.
Yay.
As he steps in, old giddy.
Hey, I have a favor to ask.
Okay.
So, you know how I like to buy meat, and today I went to Anton, and I gave him my, Charizard card, and he didn't really like it, and I thought, maybe I can ask Mama for allowance. You know, you got them the sweet cards, the Yu-Gi-Oh ones. Maybe I can ask him, and that'll make Anton smile.
All right. And Granny kind of like digs around through, like, she has like a carpet bag, like an old school And she kind of like digs through it. Ah, yes. And she hands you an original, uncensored Harpy Lady card. Just titty out.
Billy does not even react to it. Like he does not understand. He doesn't care. Like
Yeah.
Cool.
See if he likes this one.
All right. Maybe he'll give me a bigger cut next time.
And she just kind of like pats you on the shoulder.
How have you been, Mum?
I've been well. Hoping that my cane gets repaired swiftly.
Yeah. It breaking was not nice.
It was quite a nasty little fall, but I'm all right.
Okay, so did you fell recently? Is that because your cane broke? I take it.
Yes,
Okay.
it was not nasty, just kind of like a couple little scrapes. But
Yeah.
she
Okay.
made a big show of it.
Yeah.
Hey, once the cane get fixed and you can, walk easy again, can we go to that place again with, the funny juice? Want to makes the head dizzy?
I'll have to think about that one, dear.
Okay. You need anything done, Mom? Like, I don't know, I got the rest of the day.
Hold on, I want to look at something. You know, dear, I actually would like to go for a little walk around. Would you mind coming with me?
Of
I
course.
just want to see what's going on today, if anything interesting is happening.
Sure. We can go for a walk.
It's always good to know what's going on around town.
as he like brings out a huge arm to like help you get up and lead you wherever you want to go.
Okay, where do you want to go?
So we know that there's the market downstairs, like out where like the food trucks are outside. What's the like main bazaar, like shopping center like? The like mall's main thoroughfare.
Good question. What is it like? So we established that like the actual mall itself is used for stuff. So I'm assuming
Yeah.
that that's probably where they'd have the 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 main sort of bazaar or market. So given that it's a mall, like, do we think like they'd have? I assume that, like there are people within like the burnt out the shells of what were once stores.
Yeah.
But there's
I
probably also
assume-
like tents and like market stalls set up in like like the food court and or what was the food court and stuff.
Yeah.
I was kind of imagining, and it's totally cool if not,
No, go for it.
but just remembering from like how my food court is set up, in like the mall near me, is that because it's like there's like little kiosks for like all of the like restaurants or whatever. Um, you could kind of make that into a like fucking what are they called? It's kind of like a like kind of like carnival, like pay to do this thing and then we will sometimes give you a reward. So maybe it's like the
Oh yeah, like the
entertainment
little
sector
yeah,
because
like
it's
Like
kind of like in
carnival
the middle.
games?
carnival games and stuff.
Yeah, it's like where like the bards go to do their thing. Maybe there's like that bar earlier described. Maybe is there. Maybe that's like the cultural center of the mall because it's kind of like in the middle usually, isn't it? The food court.
It depends on the mall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was just sort of my first idea.
I mean, it's your world as much as it's mine. Are you all happy with that?
That's fine with me.
Yep.
So it's in the food court, or what was the food court? All right. So are you looking for something specific, or are you just going
Uh,
for a walk with Billy?
She's keeping an eye and an ear out for any interesting gossip going on.
Okay,
Any
what kind of
fights,
gossip
any
would she
any
find interesting?
conflict that she would want to avoid
Okay.
specifically. Granny likes to be not necessarily in control of a situation, but she likes to know when she isn't.
Okay, so I think you've only just because as you say your cult travels around. You must have been here a little bit because obviously you've met Billy.
Yeah.
So and you've always established a relationship with him, or he's established a relationship with you, whichever way that works. So I think you'd obviously be aware of a couple of things about the local area already. Um, so for instance, so we haven't really mentioned it yet. So I was just thinking like, okay, so this settlement, Operal is, presumably like it has a leader, right? Do we have any ideas on who that might be? I can obviously come in with a character if you want.
Ooh.
If you've got a name or
My immediate thought, though it's really dumb, is basically just the fucking what is his name? There's like a
Paul Blart?
movie.
All
Yeah,
Blart?
Paul Blart,
Oh
but like
my
as like a
God.
traitor guy, basically.
Oh my
Like
god.
there's this really just fat guy, but he's like a rich fat guy. That's why he's like the leader, and he's in like
kind of a little stupid and full of himself.
yeah, but he's got like like maybe he's got like riot gear that's been like painted to look more like mall cop gear. You know
Oh
what I
my
mean? Like
God.
he's like super
He has
overcompensating.
seen a
Maybe
picture of a mall cop but doesn't know what the fuck it means.
yeah.
he just knows
Just
that
knows
mall
it's
cops
somebody who
have
used
cops
to
in
be
the name,
here.
so he just also adopted like the cop look, but like super militarized maybe, because he's also like maybe because he's like a big guy, so maybe he feels like he gotta like make himself more intimidating.
It has like the word SWAT painted on it, but it's
Yeah,
misspelled.
yeah, because
It's
like
smart.
yeah, like
The
people
W
don't
is
know what
upside
that
down.
means. They just know that like the leader is called the Smot, so that's who he is.
Smart.
Yeah, that's who he is.
Okay, I'm all down for that. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah,
smart. Okay,
it's called the Smot.
the smart. Okay, so I think as you're wandering around the settlement, then you wander in the market, you're hearing there's a lot of gossip about Smat is maybe dealing with some problems. Like you don't get a idea of what these problems are.
You're cutting
You
up.
hear a lot. Oh, sorry.
He went
Cutting out.
robot for a
Yeah,
second.
you went real robot-y for a second.
Oh, shit, sorry.
I mean, it's
Problem.
not you. It's like the net.
Oh, Stank, are you leaving?
At 420,
Okay,
I do have to. That is a hard
Okay.
stop for me. But I'm fine with you guys carrying on. Maybe like the
Well, I
dock.
think we were finish it like past this anyway. So
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
your net seems to demand that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting pissy.
Is
I-
it really? Oh, God damn it!
I,
little
I,
bit.
I don't want to stop things, but like maybe Doc is reclined after failure or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, am I actually still bad? Is
No,
it-
you're
You're
back.
good.
No,
good
you're
again.
good.
Okay, I don't know. It's just my internet or something. Oh God, sorry. Right. Yeah, so I think you're hearing a lot of rumor that the SMAT is having some problems. Some people seem to think that it's maybe a supply problem or it's like a leadership problem, that maybe he's having trouble with his gang, that they're not listening to him. But it definitely sounds like he's maybe not as in control as you maybe have heard previously. Hello.
Sorry, I was writing this down.
Okay, yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think. Mhm. What is it? Granny is she's gonna lead Billy kind of like out of the main thoroughfare and try and find just like a nice little quiet place for a second. And because I can do it, why not? She is going to open her brain up to the world's psychic maelstrom and try and see if she can learn anything interesting going on in the area.
Fantastic. Okay. Roll weird.
Alrighty.
Obviously, Billy is in his element at the moment. He's in defense mode, so he's just standing and like
Yeah.
keeping everyone that might even walk into it like at bay.
Okay. So, first of all, for my first question to you is, what does that look like to you, to Granny? Like, what's happening to her?
It
How
basically
does
like,
she do it?
she kind of like it's a little Professor Xavier like putting two fingers to her temple, and she kind of like reaches out one hand and just like small like wisps kind of float around her fingers and like tousle her hair and clothing as she's kind of like channeling this power.
Okay, so it's like visible to everybody else.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why she wanted to find like a quiet place away.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, and what is it like? What is it like? Like, how do you characterize it? Are we literally talking like you have psychic powers here? You're sort of like
Y-
pulling in some sort of like imagery
Yes,
and things from
like
your brain.
it's basically like the way that I'm thinking of it is like as she's doing this, it's like the howling winds, and as she like focuses, she can kind of just make out wisps of words and sentences in this like ethereal energy. It's like she's trying to like tune to a radio station, essentially. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
yeah, no, that's great. Okay, so yeah, so you're concentrating on the smat basically. You want to
Yes.
know about this situation that he's possibly in. Yeah. So yeah, so you're sort of you're stood there like wisps of power sort of emanating from you. Billy, have you seen this before, or is this new to you?
What? That she opens up the mind? No,
Yeah.
he just looks at Granny and see in his mind she's just thinking about stuff, and his job at the moment, like it doesn't matter what happens around them as long as Granny is safe. Uh, he does his job right, so he's just on the lookout. He doesn't really care. Granny does some wacky shit. Mama also did some wacky shit, but maybe it wasn't the same. But hey, Billy was not was taught not to stick his nose where it's not his business.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So Granny, you start you hear the howling winds, and they're raging around, and I guess they sort of form into the smat. Like you sort of see this sort of image as you hold sort of. You've probably seen him walking around, maybe. Like so, you got an idea of what this guy looks like. So you sort of, and as they sort of, you hear voices from the maelstrom. You hear two words. Zaibatsu. Anger. Zaibatsu. Anchor. Saibatu. Anchor. And that's all you get.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't necessarily know what those words mean yet. You'd have to ask
Okay.
around, I guess. But I think it might be the end of the session because we're sort of hitting time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess gotta head out.
Stank just dipped.
So I'm sorry it was kind of short because we had a lot to get through at the
I
beginning.
mean, we had an hour and a half of,
yeah, stuff.
stuff
I
to
knew
deal
it
with.
would happen. I knew it would happen, but
Yeah.
Makes sense.
at least we've got a few things going. So we can get right into it next session. Did you you didn't need to mark off barter, Harper, because you got barter, so you sort of evened out, assuming you paid
I-
one barter.
Yeah, I
Question.
basically just get a barter to spend normally and not have to really keep track of anything. I just generate it.
Yeah,
the
as long as you roll well on your fortune.
Yeah.
That is.
Actually, two questions. One
Yes.
is in-game related. Second is Foundry related.
Yeah.
The in-game related one. Is the Yu-Gi-Oh card counted as barter?
I mean, yeah, I assume that's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Ah.
So oh
But
yeah.
that would require probably for Howard to do a -1.
Oh, that's true. And you to get one barter, yeah. So
Yeah,
if that's between you two to decide, yeah, are you actually giving him barter then?
I like, considering it's basically a bit. I'm like, if you say now we'll just count it as a bit, then we'll just count it as a bit. Like,
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that because, like, I start with Oddman's Worth for barter, so I'm happy with just giving you a barter as like
Yeah.
a representation of that. So yeah, you have one barter. You have that special Yu-Gi-Oh
Alright.
card.
nice.
Silly Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah.
And
Also,
the second question is,
Okay.
did anyone roll a highlighted?
I was
um,
just about to say that.
I
I
want
rolled
to
it,
see if there's
but-
any automation.
I was. Oh right, I don't. So basically, I think the only two people that rolled a highlighted stat were Harper and Snow. So you both gained 1 experience point.
Okay, there isn't any.
No,
oh,
it
wait,
doesn't
but
automate.
No, no, you
Wait.
have to keep track of that yourself.
Harper-
Sorry, I should have
Harper-
reminded you when you did it.
Harper's stats are not highlighted in the sheets in Foundry, so I don't know if there's
Oh, yeah.
actually automation or not.
I mean,
I
think that's
highlighted
for-
mine before I rolled,
Okay, then
just
yeah,
in
there's
case
no-
there was
there's
automation,
no
Mine
automation.
wasn't.
but there wasn't.
Okay,
That's a good thing because, like I said, this is the first time we're trying actually the APOC framework. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
add stuff. I'll try figuring out a lot of stuff for next week.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
well,
cool.
thank you very much,
It was
guys.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you for the session.
I need to like make a voice for my character. I mean, I made like a way how they talk. They just talk very mechanically. Is kind of what I was going for.
It's all right. Like voices
But
are the
if
hardest thing to do.
Yeah. I was like, I'll just do like my customer service like Southern voice, and it just didn't happen. I was like, okay.
I broke my character's nose for that. Just so you all know.
Yeah. He broke his nose, so he could do the Kermit voice.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. Just so I
Yeah,
have a
just
reason
heard
to use it.
Kermit.
Yeah.
Well, I already love all your characters, so well done.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's good.
Yeah, I
This-
can't
This
wait.
is a good group.
I can't wait to interrogate the shit out of Steve because that was my plan.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so we didn't
No,
get back
it's
to you and Steve.
No, it's fine. But basically, my plan was like, I'm gonna trick this old lady into giving me this person so I can interrogate the shit out of them because I don't know if my character trusts this person.
Excellent.
Yeah, I meant to like mention it.
My
but, like,
character is. I like the idea that my character isn't like the greatest person, but they're not like they're just suspicious.
I mean, it's Apocalypse World. None of you is meant to be like
I
particular.
guess, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I mean,
I
I'm
guess
trying
that's
to be
fair.
nice.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Grady
you're
was-
nice because you don't know what you're doing. I feel like is more the vibe I got. Is
Oh
like,
yeah, I'll tell
might have done-
someone's head off if someone like
Yeah.
even tries to
Yeah.
hit Mama. I'll
Yeah.
fucking like gouge their eyes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
you
so
might have done like terrible things, but you just don't have like the mental capacity to understand why that was terrible.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, Granny has the capacity to be a terrible person. She just knows that she gets farther just being nicer, and she just doesn't mind.
Yeah, which
And
is
she would have,
suspicious
like-
as fuck in a post-apocalypse.
Oh,
I just want to point out.
absolutely. And I did mean to make a mention, but like before she left Steve, she would have given him like just like an instruction, just be nice, don't be rude, help her with what she needs.
yeah.
Like, don't
Yeah.
cause me problems.
Yeah.
Just to like, don't be rude.
And yeah,
Nice. Phew, yeah. So we will expand more next time and maybe actually have something interesting happen.
I mean the gambling scene was kind of funny.
I love that he immediately lost.
Immediately lost.
I like in my
Immediately
brain that
picked up gambling addiction.
he played cards for cards basically like.
Yes, yeah, that's
That line that I have all the cards and you have none is basically like just a pile of cards like lying on the table. Like he's about to win.
Yeah. Straight up, I was trying so hard not to say like he's the card czar. It's him.
Oh boy.
The czar of the cards. He's got the heart and the spleen of the cards in his hands.
I mean, thank you for organizing this, Spur.
Yes.
Yes,
Alright.
thank you.
Fun. Get to do this again.
I need to actually go.
No,
like,
no, that's
prepare
fine.
for work. So
Yeah,
I'll talk to you
that's
guys
cool.
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I shall see you all next week.
Yes.
Take care.
Bye.
See you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.